week, the Islanders and Winnipeg Jets played one of those goofy kind of games where you didn't know what to expect. Winnipeg jumped to an early 2-goal lead, but then the Islanders came back, paced by the red-hot Zygmunt Palffy. He would score a hat trick, all of the goals coming in the first period as the Islanders broke out to a 5-3 lead. It was not the Islanders' afternoon in the end, largely because of Dominic Roussel, who replaced Nikolai Habibulin in goal for Winnipeg, while the Islanders' Tommy Soderstrom was having his problems at the other end of the ice. Winnipeg came back, taking advantage of Islander mistakes, and the Jets beat the Islanders 7-5. This afternoon, the Islanders are in Winnipeg for their final meeting ever against the Jets. Up next. The Islanders are in one of hockey's hotbeds for the final time. This afternoon, they'll face the Winnipeg, soon-to-be Phoenix Jets from the Winnipeg Arena. Hi again, everyone. I'm Howie Rose, along with Ed Westfall, and welcome to the Huntley-Brinkley Report. I mean, shouldn't we be doing election returns with this setup or something?
Yeah, but we don't have a teleprompter.
That's right, and we don't know what's going on anywhere outside of Winnipeg. And unfortunately, the Winnipeg people will not embrace the Jets much longer, and it's kind of sad for anybody who's been in a place where hockey is camped.
You know, it's interesting how people react, Howie, because knowing that this is the last NHL hockey they're going to see in Winnipeg, they're starting to fill this building on a regular basis. People want to get it in, get as much of it as they can before it's all over.
Well, our Tri-State Chief Eagle game story this afternoon centers around, well, whom else? Why don't we start calling this the Tri-State Chief Eagle Zygmunt Palffy Report?
Oh, wow. And it's easy to report on somebody like this. Look what he's done in the last 32 games. This is not just a quick one-night stand for Zygmunt Palffy. He's been doing this regularly, and against Boston he showed and kept it going. He'd had a couple of, yes, hat tricks back-to-back. Everybody wondered, could he do it again? Well, he didn't do it, but at least he scored another one, and this was against the Bruins in Boston.
Well, listen, Zygmunt Palffy's not going anywhere. The Islander plan is to have him around for a long, long while. I don't know that that applies to Wendell Clark, and interestingly, although we don't believe it has anything to do with Wendell, Islander coach and GM Mike Milbury is in Detroit today.
He's watching some junior hockey, some college hockey, and who knows, maybe meeting with Berard and his agent Tom Laidlaw, but Milbury not here. Wendell Clark is, and he has continued. He has been hot. 4 assists against this same Winnipeg team the last time they played. And there, I know that he put that off the goaltender deliberately to open up some room to score.
Well, the Islanders will be without a couple of key players this afternoon. Marty McInnes will be gone with bruised ribs, and Patrick Flatley's groin is acting up again. So the Winnipeg Jets have been hit hard by injuries just over the last couple of days. 2 big boys will be out.
Wow. And, you know, people love to see these players, Jamnov on the left and Eddie Olchuk, who has had a lot of success, both players. But Olchuk seems to have a rejuvenation in his career, Howie. Maybe his contract's up, I'm not sure. Didn't get a chance to ask him. He's not here.
Oh, it is all right. He's on a termination contract. Meantime, Keith Tkachuk has been one of the outstanding forwards, power forwards in the National Hockey League. He's had a terrific season again for Winnipeg.
A game breaker, this guy. Young, and he's a powerful young man, and he knows how to put the puck in. He knows how to fight. He knows how to hit. He does it all, Howie, and he's a thrill to watch this guy operate. He's almost like a one-man band last year and early in this year.
But he will be missing his line mates, Shemnov and Olchek, this afternoon. That takes care of our Tri-State Chief Eagle game story. We get set for the final meeting ever between Zygmunt Palffy's New York Islanders and the Winnipeg Jets. Drop of the puck is...
Islanders Hockey on Sports Channel is brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. By the Discover card. It pays to discover. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz. For state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more, nobody beats the Wiz.
Do it! No! Do it! Never! And I will! No! Ah! No! Ah!
drink Bud Ice. But beware the Penguins.
Some credit card companies promise you'll get a lot of mileage out of their cards. But at Discover Card, we offer something you can really use. The Cashback Bonus Award. In fact, we've given our card members over $500 million already. And the more you use your card, the more you get back. So the next time you travel, put more than just miles under your belt. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
In today's hectic world, it's sometimes difficult to find time for the most important people in our lives. I found a way to keep in touch 24 hours a day. My Motorola pager from Nobody Beats the Wiz. It's smaller than your wallet, inexpensive to use, and you can screen your calls.
Check your This Week at Nobody Beats the Wiz circular for a great selection of Motorola pagers and service options at prices too low to miss.
So keep in touch with the Motorola pager from Nobody Beats the Wiz. Excuse me, I've got to use the phone.
Listen when your car says,
Get me to Lee Miles.
For the Lee Miles nearest you, call 1-800-LEE-MILES.
I think I was about 8 when I decided I was going to be a professional hockey player. I went out into the living room and I said, Dad, I want to be a professional hockey player. He put the paper down, he gave me one of his over-the-rim-of-the-reading glasses stares, and he said, Son, people who never hold a 9 to 5 usually end up skating through life. Boy, my old man had some great advice.
God for thee, oh Canada, we stand on God for thee.
if you had Yannin Gillespie in the anthem pool today, you win. That's who just delivered the Canadian anthem. And we'll take a look at our GMC goaltending matchup for this afternoon, Ed.
Eric Fichaud is going to be in goal. There's the numbers on Eric. His last start was a 5-3 win at home against the Boston Bruins last Tuesday. Habby Bulin, yes, that's the way you say it. Nikolai Habby Bulin, 23 years old. He lost to Pittsburgh last Tuesday, and then he beat the Florida Panthers 5-3 on Thursday night.
Well, the Islanders have not won. They have lost all 5 games in which Paul Stewart has been the referee. Stefan Provo and Mark Paré will be the linesmen this afternoon for the final appearance of the New York Islanders in Winnipeg. The Jets will start out with Igor Korolev, Dallas Drake, and Mike Eastwood as the forwards, with Dave Manson and Darren Quint on defense for the Islanders. That line we were talking about the early part of our pregame show with Derek Armstrong, Jared Dooling, and Dan Plott up front. Arias Kasparaitis, Matthew Schneider on defense. And with play underway, it's Mike Eastwood controlling the puck back to Quint at the Winnipeg line. His pass hits Dooling, and Jared Dooling sweeps it ahead for Plott. He couldn't hold it. Now comes together with Manson. And it's Eastwood for Winnipeg, spinning it around. Kasparaitis couldn't keep it in, and so now the Islanders have to retreat deep into their own zone. Igor Korolev in forechecking on Kasparaitis. And the puck bat out to center. Teppo Numminen on defense with a former Islander, Jeff Finley. This is Newman, number 27, leading Eastwood as the Islanders make a player change on the move. Numminen lifts a dump in that Dallas Drake chases with Kasparaitis, who runs Drake down. And play is stopped, but Kasparaitis going to get a penalty.
Going to be a boarding penalty. Paul Stewart, we know what he's like. He likes to set the tone. There'll be no doubt in the players' minds from the beginning of the hockey game that he's serious. He calls them the way he sees them, and it doesn't matter. Remember that Dallas Drake was the guy that ran into King, and I should also preface that by saying that was a good hit by Dallas Drake on Derek King, but this is from behind. Not the dangerous kind of hit but from behind, but still hit from behind near the boards. That gets Kasparaitis 2 minutes in the penalty box for boarding, and a power play early in the hockey game for the Winnipeg Jets. 4th best power play in the league, and the Islanders penalty killing back at 24th.
Rick Bowness and Guy Charron handle the bench this afternoon with Mike Milbury in Detroit. doing some scouting. The Islanders don't play after today's game until next Saturday, a week off. So Mike's going to do some scouting. Jets control the draw. Newman plays it along the boards. Turcotte got it back to Newman. Now Oleg Tverdovsky to Newman. It's Karam, taken by Brian McCabe, but it's intercepted by Turcotte in the corner. Jets power play. Darren Turcotte setting up Newman. Now Turcotte's one-timer, pass save, Deschaux, and he gathers in the rebound.
Good stop by Eric Deschaux. Good rebound. Another good stop as the Winnipeg Jets. They try to make things happen early in the hockey game. They have the opportunity. There's Stapleton. Got a couple of goals the last time these two teams met. See them work the puck. There's the first shot stopped. There's the rebound stopped. The Islanders, they're Severin getting after Stapleton, but good scoring opportunity on the power play as Mike Stapleton gets a chance early.
Stapleton and Turcotte joined Tkachuk on the first power play unit. Usually, Zhamnov and Olczyk, each of whom are out with injuries, have that distinction for Winnipeg. Tverdovsky and Newman on the points, and now it's Green and Palffy up front with LaChance and Luongo back for the Islanders. Newman in number 27. Moves it around. LaChance slaps it back the other way, and Turcotte's got it again for Winnipeg. Darren Turcotte plays it to the corner. Tkachuk couldn't get it to Newman, and Travis Green on the intercept. Up to Palffy. And Zygmunt Palffy shovels it along and hits Tverdovsky. Now it's Turcotte, number 89 for Winnipeg. Turcotte, a former Ranger and Hartford Whaler, came over from Hartford earlier this year. Nelson Emerson. Tverdovsky gains the Islanders zone. Pulls one in front and scores! Perfect deflection as Tverdovsky center to Tkachuk, and Keith Tkachuk with a power play goal gives Winnipeg a 1-0 lead.
Lately we've seen that particular play by both teams several times, Howie. It's a beautifully timed play. Tverdovsky holds the puck. He knows that Tkachuk is heading for the net. He hopes that he's got enough time. Here he is holding the puck on the left side, holding it, and then fires it across. And Keith Tkachuk just hammers it into the open side. Only chance you've got there is if the goaltender, Eric Deschaux, picks off the pass, which I think he may have had an opportunity to, but didn't, Howie. And that's some of the experience that he's going to have to get and utilize as he gets going here with his young career.
As that pass came across from Tverdovsky, it looked like Tkachuk bunted it out of midair to give Winnipeg the 1-0 lead. Rob Murray, number 12 for the Jets, was just called up from the American Hockey League. He's being worked over by Kasparaitis in the corner as the Islanders clear the zone. Rob Murray is technically on suspension in the American League, whacking a player across the forearm. Murray couldn't control the puck. Seamock's shot goes wide. Bertuzzi puts it in front, but it flips the side of the net. Manson can't clear. Schneider looked for Anderson on a deflection, but Manson's got it back. And now it's Jim McKenzie, number 33 for Winnipeg. McKenzie was in camp with the Islanders this year. Here's McKenzie in over the line. Jim McKenzie centers one. Nobody home for the Jets. McKenzie is not a goal scorer at all. He's a physical player, but scored 2 goals in his last game for the Winnipeg Jets.
That was against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he's gotten twice this year. He's gotten 2 goals in a hockey game, Howie.
It was actually 2 games ago when Winnipeg lost to Pittsburgh 9-4. Jets are hot. They have won 6 of their last 7 games. Had a 4-game winning streak, increased it to 5 when they beat the Islanders, and then lost that game in Pittsburgh before winning at home against Florida. Here's the early look at the Modell's board.
After years of building cages, we're about to let the animal out. Introducing the 850R from Volvo.
Face it, no other razor shaves closer or with more comfort than Gillette's Sensor XL. Soft microfins that protect your skin and individually spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face. No razor feels more comfortable during your shave or leaves your face smoother after.
Gillette Sensor XL. And try new Gillette Aftershave, a splash that moisturizes as it refreshes.
Here are today's scratches, Ed, courtesy of New York State Lottery.
For the Islanders, Lindros and Vasky, Vakota Belanger, King, Pilon, McGinnis, and Pat Flatley. All out of the Islanders lineup, and there you see them for the Winnipeg Jets.
Eddie Olczyk was to undergo an MRI today. His knee is banged up again. Alexei Zhamnov was cross-checked across the back the other night. And both are doubtful for the Jets game tomorrow night against the Detroit Red Wings as well. Here's McCabe for the Islanders. Over the Winnipeg line, slides one that Javi Bulin steers to the corner. And it's Chris King, the captain of the Jets, lifting it to center. Kachuk used to be the captain here. King has got that honor now, but interestingly, on a recent national interview, Paul Stewart's got an interference penalty here.
Boy, there's no question about what Paul Stewart, he's old-fashioned, Howie. You remember the mandate that was handed down at the beginning of the year for interference, for all the fouls and the restraining fouls in particular, and Paul Stewart makes no bones about it. He referees the way he did at the beginning of the season. So interference penalty. Brad Delgarno not going to endear himself to Rick Bowness, who's coaching the club in the absence of Mike Milbury. He's on some scouting assignments, I believe. I guess that's what he's doing, looking at some of the young players that the Islanders have in their system. Probably talking to some of the scouts as well.
So the Jets go to their second power play with Delgarno off for interference at 3:43. They connected on the first. And again, they've got Numanen and Tverdovsky on the back line with Kachuk up front with Stapleton and Turcotte. And here's Kachuk, number 7, unable to hold it. And the Islanders clear all the way down.
What a bad pass by Stapleton there. He had Kachuk just flying on the right side. He put it in his skates.
Here's Kachuk wheeling through center. Up to Turcotte down the left side. Couldn't get a pass across through Schneider's stick, but Kachuk gets it back. Now it bounces in the corner. Turcotte controls. Tverdovsky, a drive is blocked by Plot. Tverdovsky again with Plot pressuring. Works it to the corner. Stapleton to Turcotte. Aaron Turcotte looks for a play. Stapleton missed the pass. He was double teamed and it comes out of the zone. Started to mention before that Kachuk was interviewed recently by TSN, which is the Canadian equivalent of ESPN, and he said that even though King is now the captain, he still considers himself to be the captain on and off the ice. That didn't go over too well with some of the Jets people. Gar Korolev now to Eastwood. Darren Quinn, a drive, he hit the goal post. Darren Quinn from the right point rung one off the iron with a half minute to go on the Winnipeg power play. And now it's Manson for the Jets in his own zone. Up to Quinn. Darren Quinn from outside the Islander line bounces one into the other corner. Korolev works it around to Eastwood. Now to Quinn at the point. Korolev flubbed the pass, but Drake follows up. Dallas Drake playing with a fat lip. He took a puck in the chops the other night. Pittsburgh. We'll visit with him later on this afternoon. Here's Manson. A wrist shot. Fischel gets a piece of it. Scrambles to cover up, and he looks a little uneasy early on.
Well, he does, Howie. He didn't see that puck, and there's nothing worse for a goaltender than having a power play or any other kind of a play in front of him, and he doesn't see the puck, because what happens is that if the puck gets through and hits him, he's somewhat surprised because he didn't see it. And the reaction that we have normally or naturally would be, he didn't see it. Well, obviously he didn't. But anyway, Quinn, Ziggy fan here, the Canadian flag on his jersey. A lot of fans, Ziggy picking up, but Quinn earlier in the power play with his shot off the goalpost to the right of Eric Fischel. Close call. Islanders don't want to fall behind 2-0.
That's Darren Quinn who hit the goalpost with that shot. Face off to the left of Fischel. The penalty had just expired after Fischel was forced to make that last save. So now the team's back at full strength. Islanders 1 for 2 on the penalty kill early on. Numanen floats one that's scooped up by Fischel. Luongo and LaChance are the Islander back line right now with Green, Clark, and Palffy the forwards. And here's Wendell Clark stick handling. In over the Winnipeg line. Nobody home at the other side for the Islanders. Chris King was checked by Palffy. We've remarked often lately that not only has Zygmunt Palffy made a burst offensively, but his defensive game is getting better every night. There's a lead for Palffy off his stick that's covered up by Howie Rose.
That's a tough pass to pick up, even for Zygmunt Palffy. It was very hard coming from Wendell Clark, but you're in a vulnerable position again, Howie. When you're picking up passes, Clark knew he had to make it hard because you've got to pick it up. You've always got to watch for the defenseman. Remember, that's where Derek King got picked off at the blue line. There's the pass. It hit the heel of his stick. You could see that Chris King was nearby. Palffy actually got in behind the defenseman, but boy, it has to happen so quickly. You've got to have it on the tape, and you're gone. But always with the head up.
And you saw Wendell Clark's jersey there and the apparatus sticking out from the upper left side of the torso, and that has to do with Wendell's sore back, which has been a chronic thing, and the extra protection that he needs. Not as though Wendell has one of those Wayne Gretzky looks going for him. Derek Armstrong, number 14, gets to a loose puck, tries to wrap around and rolls across the goal now. Jared Dooling hit by Muni. Kachuk squeezes it the other way. Kasparaitis in deep. Now Plot trying to center. Howie Rose gets a piece of it, trying to protect it, can't do it. Squirts free. Armstrong jumps on it in the corner. Derek Armstrong a shot, a pad save, rebound Plot, and that's kicked out by Howie Rose. And again, the Armstrong-Dooling Plot line doing a real good job down low, but now Paul Stewart has a penalty on the Jets, I assume. I know Armstrong was one of the guys that was going to go. Well, we'll take a break here. It is 1-0 Winnipeg on the Modell's board.
Mike Tyson fought Frank Bruno once before. This is what happened.
Tyson gets nailed with a left hook. Tyson looks wobbly as he attacks Bruno. That's the first time I've seen anything like Tyson staggered. Mike Tyson doesn't seem to have that fiery look in his eyes.
Bruno versus Tyson, WBC Heavyweight Championship, March 16th. Live on pay-per-view from the MGM Grand. Call your cable or satellite company.
Your life is controlled from above, where satellites can relay hundreds of TV channels. Discovery Channel. Track whales in the ocean. Follow elephants in Africa. Keep an eye on enemies, or keep an eye on you. See Eyes in the Sky, a world premiere special when Spywatch begins. Sunday at 9 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
28 in white, Craig Muni, who's drawn raves from the coaching staff and general manager. You see Stewart immediately points to Armstrong, says you got a charging penalty. No matter that Muni got out of the way of the on-rushing Armstrong, but 3 straight penalties to the Islanders now.
Here's Tverdovsky stepping up and missing on the short side. I think I inadvertently had said that it was a penalty coming against Winnipeg, obviously against the Islanders. Sweeney challenges. Sweeney a shot, and that's stopped by Howie Rose.
Boy, that's 2 good stops by Howie Rose for Winnipeg.
Kasparaitis gains the Jet zone. Remember, the Islanders shorthanded for the 3rd time already in the period. And now Newmanen takes over in the Winnipeg zone. Turcotte forced away by Sweeney. So Newmanen gets it to Tverdovsky. In over the Islander line. Tverdovsky in the corner. Out of Turcotte at the point. He cranks and fires. Pad save. Fichot. Rebound is loose. Still loose, and Schneider got it to the corner. Now Turcotte puts it to the corner. Stapleton had it knocked away by Schneider. Anderson couldn't clear, so here's Turcotte to Stapleton, and he missed the net. Turcotte taken down, and a penalty coming up. Nicholas Anderson is furious as Paul Stewart made the motion.
He could have got him. Well, he could have got him for interference, or he could have got him for what he did, the kneeing penalty. Stewart skates all the way down to the other end of the ice. Anderson is upset. He's really mad. And as I point out, he doesn't care. You can be in the situation the Islanders are in with an extra player in the box, and now they've got 2 in there. As Anderson got his knee out here, the Islanders had a chance to clear. Anderson didn't get it out. And here a shot just missed by Stapleton, and the puck in the right corner. And here, watch Anderson, 32. He actually stuck his hip out. It was not a knee. That's a miscalculation on the referee's part, but he could have called it for interference, not kneeing.
Either way, it puts the Islanders down 2 men for a full minute. And obviously, Rick Bowness rather agitated by the fact that that's 4 straight penalties now called against the Islanders. So Green will be the lone forward with McCabe and LeChance back. Tkachuk, Stapleton, Turcotte, Tverdovsky, and Numminen are the power play unit for the Winnipeg Jets. And they control the draw, Winnipeg does. Numminen to Tverdovsky. Down low, Stapleton to Tverdovsky. Cross-ice pass flicked away. Stapleton behind the net. Islanders were set up in that triangle. Now Turcotte to Numminen. Numminen, a drive. Fischel grabs it, juggles it, and it's cleared by Travis Green with 34 seconds to go on the penalty to Derek Armstrong and a minute and a half left on Anderson.
Good stop by Fischel, Howie, and good clearing by the Islanders. Green getting it down the ice.
Tkachuk gains the zone. Powers in for a shot that deflects wide. Now it's Schneider, unable to squeeze it past Stapleton. Tkachuk took a whack at it, and that puck knocked down with a high stick. During this break, true Islanders fans will take to the ice. Bud Ice, the smooth taste that goes down easy. Bud Ice, proud sponsor of the coolest game on earth.
40 goals now for Keith Tkachuk, along with 35 assists, leads this team by a long way. 75 points. Jamnov, who's not in the hockey game, is the nearest to him at 59.
Winnipeg control the draw. Tverdovsky watched by Sweeney. 11 seconds left to the 5-on-3. Tverdovsky to Numminen, who steps up, shoots, Hesperitis the block. Armstrong set to come out. Tverdovsky, cross-ice, Stapleton centering feed, couldn't be handled by Turcotte. Islanders get 1 man back. Numminen shot sails over the net. Islanders still a man down, can't clear. 50 seconds left to the power play for Winnipeg. Tkachuk to Stapleton. Sweeney got a stick on that pass. Tverdovsky gets it back. Numminen hassled by Armstrong, and it comes out of the zone. 38 seconds left. The power play for Winnipeg. Tverdovsky couldn't get the pass across. Dan Plott has it. Now Plott moves towards center. He's killing some time here. Up ahead for Palffy. It fluttered off of his stick. I think that Palffy might have been in alone. Plott continues his good work. Manson tying him up. Then Palffy with a big hit on Dallas Drake. And it's Korolev with 10 seconds left of the Winnipeg power play. Met in center by Severance. So Korolev dumps it around the boards. Drake first on it to Eastwood. Korolev to Manson. Power play's over. Manson shot blocked by Palffy. Kept in by Quint. Fischel the save. Now Korolev behind the net. Igor Korolev lost it on a stick check. Drake has it back. Manson puts it down low. Turning is Korolev, and he hits the side of the net. Palffy with a chance, just smacks it out. Getting it all the way down. The Islanders will take an icing here, but the team's back at full strength as Manson touches up. Tomorrow we'll have the Devils and Philadelphia Flyers on Sports Channel with Sports Authority game time at 7:30. And the drop of the puck a little after 8 o'clock. Scott Stevens and Eric Lindros will exchange their not-so-pleasantries, as they always seem to do. We'll have it for you on Sports Channel.
Good kill for the Islanders. Terry Simpson looking over, seeing what he has to do as far as line changes go. He gets the last change here. One-time Islander head coach. Got his team playing the best hockey. Interesting, you know, you take Solani out of the lineup, you think, wow, where are they ever going to go for the points that he provided? He said that the balance of the attack now without Solani is over more players than it was just situated on him. Responsibility. This conversation is between Stewart, of course, there on the left, and Wendell Clark. Clark is asking him. Stewart's telling him, those are the penalties I see. I'm going to call them. If Winnipeg do the same thing, they're gone. Just as long as your players know, I've set the tempo of this hockey game as far as the penalties are concerned, and you're going to have to live with it.
Chris Luongo behind the Islander cage. Worked it around. Bertuzzi got a piece of it. Now it flutters deep into the Winnipeg zone. This is Chad Kilger, number 18, one of the players acquired from the Ducks in the Teemu Solani deal. Heading off to Newman. Now Finley to Kilger. Over the line, a drop for Shane Doan. Green got a piece of him, and LaChance has the puck for New York. Miss Green, the breakout feed. And the Jets bring it back in. Keith Tkachuk hemmed in by Green, and the Islanders go to the attack. Bertuzzi up the right wing with Clark. Bertuzzi, get it across. Newmanen working on him. Clark has it back. Draws a crowd, but can't get the puck to the point. And LaChance has to scramble back into the Islanders zone. 8:40 to go in the first. 1-0 Winnipeg. Green was unable to connect on that pass. Craig Muni checked by Clark. And now the puck to Chris King for the Jets. Clark got a piece of it. Stapleton, though, fires one wide. Held in by Muni. Round behind the net. Chris King tried to put it in front. Broken up. Muni's got it back. And the butterflying Fichot protects the puck. 8:18 remaining in a first period that has seen Paul Stewart call 4 penalties, all against the Islanders. The Jets converting on just one of their power play chances. There's a look at the Modell's board.
Myrtle Beach, #1 for golf and family vacations. Call Myrtle Beach Jet Express at 1-800-FUN-TUCSON and fly nonstop jet service from New York to Myrtle Beach from only $79. Myrtle Beach, perfect for your family vacation and championship golf. Ask us about our Myrtle Beach vacation packages from only $199. And now try our great golf packages from only $17 per day. Only on Myrtle Beach Jet Express. Call 1-800-FUN-TUCSON today.
Sports Channel invites you to Meet a Met. Brought to you by Modell's.
Organized baseball, I started playing when I was 7, and I played in a league that was 9 and 10-year-olds. Then it was just a game. I mean, it didn't matter who I was playing against. I played in the backyard 12 hours a day, and we had neighborhood kids, and we played baseball all day long.
There's goals for kids. $2 million they've raised from '87 to this season so far. That's the players as they put goals in and raise dough for the kids. Got a great idea. $2 million.
Big Brothers and Big Sisters associations, Children's Hospital, Special Olympics, Canadian Cancer Society, just a few of the many charities that have benefited from the fundraising efforts of the Winnipeg Jets. Unfortunately, will leave town at the end of this season and head to Phoenix. Particularly unfortunate for the kids of Winnipeg who have benefited from their existence. They'll have an International League team in here next year. Jared Dooley, the big hit in center ice. And the puck sent back into the Winnipeg zone. Tverdovsky felt the brunt of that hit by Jared Dooley. And here's Tverdovsky again. Feeding it up to Turcotte. Aaron Turcotte gets to the red line. Skips one in. Schneider holds up King. And Schneider gets to the puck. I mean, that was a subtle piece of obstruction that I guess by the letter of the law they were supposed to do away with this year, but all King was doing, or Schneider was doing, was holding up his man like they've done forever.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I guess in this game, if you don't get caught, it doesn't get called.
Here's Eastwood, and great taking the pass from Eastwood, had one deflect behind the net. I mean, they haven't taken that, thankfully, away at all, but they were talking at the beginning of the season as though even that stuff would be eliminated.
Well, Dallas Drake trying to eliminate the 1-0 lead that they have to make it 2-0 as the Winnipeg Jets. They're skating well, Howie. That's the way Winnipeg plays. They've got a good skating club. You can see Fichot getting the blocking glove on it. He was leaning a little to his left when Drake fired it to his right side.
Got clipped with a puck in Pittsburgh a couple of games ago. Cut his lip. He was wearing some protection. And we will hear from Dallas Drake in our second intermission. We'll talk specifically about the hit that he put on Derek King last week. And he's got some very interesting remarks. Class act, Dallas Drake, number 11 of the Jets, put down by McCabe. Now Karlev back on it to Drake down low. He centers, forced wide as Eastwood. And it's Travis Green spinning it around the boards. I guess the tip-off last week, as the offsides is called there, is that none of the Islander players obviously took exception to Drake's hit because they had 2 periods to make a statement physically against Drake, and they never did. And basically to a man, admitted it was a clean hit. Want to remind you that tomorrow we'll also have Nets basketball on Sports Channel's New Sport. They'll be in Denver to face the Nuggets. Sports Authority game time at 8:45, and the tip-off a little after 9 on New Sport.
There's a certain shock effect that affects everybody. It affected the Islander team, but also, if we'll get a chance to ask him, as we point out, between the second and third period, but he never left standing over Derek King. There was no rejoicing on his part or his teammates' part. They knew that King was hurt and hurt badly, and some players will leave the scene and just go away, and it would not bother some players, but obviously it bothered Dallas Drake, and we'll get a chance, as you say, to talk to him about that.
Here's McCabe for the Islanders, cranking it around the boards. Murray hit by Sweeney. Al Garno steps into his man, Darren Quint. And it's Manson for Winnipeg, getting to the red line. Off corner dump in, chased down to the far corner by Dennis Chassé. Recently acquired the Washington Capitals. And now Manson back on the puck in the Winnipeg zone. Chassé's been with 3 teams this year. And we get a whistle there from Paul Stewart. And the Islanders will finally go to the power play.
It's a tripping penalty. Paul Stewart. Jeff Finley, the ex-Islander, tripping up one of his old teammates. And Brad Delgarno, I believe it was, that he tripped. Watch on the left side as the Islanders try to forecheck. There's the Finley penalty on Brad Delgarno. So the Islanders, trailing by just 1 goal in the first period, get a chance with their power play.
So the Islanders will go to work with a man advantage, and the recently tripped Brad Delgarno was on pins and needles the other day because he was placed on waivers by the Islanders and was inquiring rather aggressively during the morning whether or not the Islanders staff had heard anything about whether anyone had picked him up. He cleared waivers, which is always a bit of a downer for a player, but getting a chance. He's been struggling lately, hasn't had a point in 10 games. Now the Islander power play goes to work. Zygmunt Palffy out to Schneider, and now the chance. Schneider again cranks and fires. That hits a stick. The Chance has it back. Chance getting some point time again. Clark, the backhander, stopped by Howie Rose, and it's cleared by Eastwood.
That's probably the 8th shot on goal for the Islanders, and 4 of them, Howie, have been real testers for Howie Rose.
Marty McInnes would get some right point time on these power plays for New York, but he's out today with bruised ribs. So Schneider leads Clark over the Winnipeg line. Now to Green. LaChance to Schneider. Palffy turns, looks for a play. Now he puts one off the skate of Green. Newman and King pressuring for Winnipeg. Schneider steps up, fires one off of Howie Rose, and it's Stapleton for Winnipeg finding the opening.
You could see where Matt Schneider was trying to put the puck, how he was trying to go to the top left-hand corner as he faced the net.
Teams changing on this power play for the Islanders with Schneider getting a blast around. The Drake intercepts and clears.
With a delayed offside, that's what made it easy for the Winnipeg Jets.
37 seconds left to the power play. Now it's Seamock, who's also been struggling mightily as of late. For Anderson and Bertuzzi. Quick shot off of Howie Rose. Fans thought the play was offside. You might have heard the groan. But Bertuzzi has it back behind the net. Now to Seamock. 20 seconds to the power play. McCabe, a shot tipped by Anderson. Nicholas Anderson, number 32 for the Islanders. Hit by Craig Muni of Winnipeg. Anderson couldn't play it to Schneider. Turcotte on the intercept.
That's a good move by Turcotte. He got himself in the perfect position where he could accept that pass around the boards on his defenseman.
That'll take care of the Islanders power play. We're now under 4 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 Winnipeg. Here's Seamock for the Islanders. Over the line. Firing one off of Newman. And it's swept up the boards by Murray. Luongo for the Islanders slaps it back in. Newman takes over for the Jets. On to Tkachuk. Here's Keith Tkachuk into the Islanders zone. Like he took his eye off the puck while he was trying to center it across towards the goal mouth. But now it's played by Shane Doan, number 19 for Winnipeg. Doan drawing a crowd in the corner. Moves it to Kilger. Slapped away by Seamock. Held in by Newman. Doan put a head fake on McCabe. Shane Doan still with the puck. Got it across. Centering feed from Kilger went right past Bichot and across the goal mouth. Keith Tkachuk turns and centers. Nobody there for the Jets. Bertuzzi banks it off the boards. Too far for Anderson.
That's why players love to slide the puck along the goal line as closely as they can, Howie, because you never know. It could bounce off a goaltender, could bounce off a skate of anybody's and go across the goal line only inches from in front of.
Teams changing on the fly again. Korolev centers. Kilger couldn't get a shot through. Kilger's got another chance. Kasparaitis didn't see him at first. Now Kilger tugged at by Kasparaitis. Lost it to Dooling in the corner. And around to LeChance. Plays it off the glass, but not out. Tverdovsky with the hold for Korolev. The trailer is Beauty. He shoots. Bichot juggles. And Eric Bichot continues to look a little wobbly here in the first period. We'll step out. 2:26 to go in the first. Here's a look at the Modell scoreboard.
Hey, guys. What do they call this, Bud? Ice? Ice brewed. No, the bottle looks like ice. The bottle does look like ice. Ice brewed, Jack. The bedhead? The bottle is Jack, and it looks like ice. Ice brewed. Jack. Jack is ice brewed.
Hey, you guys! Take it outside.
Okay, Coach.
Bud Ice, the official beer of the Hanson brothers.
Stupid machine took my quarter.
You never really know when you'll need cash. That's why you need a Discover card. Use your card to get cash during business hours from financial institutions and select merchant locations, or 24 hours a day from thousands of ATMs. The Discover card. Because when you need cash, timing is everything. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Some more pressure from the Winnipeg Jets. And they're stepping on the puck and just loading it up in front. Look at it squiggle across just in front of the goal line. Kilger, one of 4 19-year-olds in the Winnipeg lineup.
Bichot just got one through traffic. Shot by Craig Muni. Puck loose in the corner. Eastwood rammed by Kasparaitis. Dallas Drake being worked over by Travis Green, but it's Korolev playing it to Drake, number 11. Now Korolev, number 23, looking for an outlet to Eastwood. The wraparound, and it sailed past Bichot all the way to the other side. Now Eastwood spinning to Drake in the corner. Kasparaitis hits him. Gets a piece of Paul Stewart along the way as well. Green working over Korolev. Travis Green got it to the line. Tverdovsky held it in. Now Korolev. Drake got knocked down in that maze. It's back up. Feeds it across. Comes out of the Islander zone. Minute and a half to go in the first period. 1-0 Jets. Schneider to Kasparaitis. And he lifts one all the way down. Plot hustling, trying to keep it onside, and he does. Armstrong now for Clark. Down low to Plot. And Plot wheeling to Clark. He's checked by Stapleton, and out comes Turcotte. Hemmed in by Plot, who got back. What a good play by Dan Plot. In over the line, but the play offside.
Wow, what hustle will do for you, and he wants it. He wants the puck. He wants the ice time, and boy, is he taking advantage of it. Danny Plot, as he zips around. He's everywhere. He's everywhere, and he is effective. He and his line mates, they're hitting, they're checking. Clark out there with them on this shift. There's Dan as he works his way back into the center ice area. Makes the check, grabs the puck, and they go offside. He was bristling earlier today on the way over to the rink about prospects of getting all this ice time and becoming an effective part of the Islanders. That's all he wants.
Well, that may not look like much, but 2 of those 4 have come in consecutive games, the last 2. And he's got a body of work, if you will, with Dooling and Armstrong. He played with Dooling in camp. He's played with Armstrong in the minor leagues. So it's not as though these line mates of his are total strangers at all.
Well, they're not, they're not that familiar either. It's not a whole lot of ice time to be together, but they are effective. It's almost as if the coach, Mike Nobre, looked down the bench out here.
Here's Shane Doan centering. Kilger chips at it. It goes wide. Final minute of the first period. Doan springs off a check. Slides one through the slot. It comes all the way down. Clark challenging. Here's Wendell Clark. Pulling up, waiting for help. The trailer, LeChance. In front, he missed Palffy, or at least Palffy missed the pass across.
Wow, Palffy had the whole net, but it was a hard pass. The timing had to be perfect.
Now Luongo scrambles to get back. And it's Chris Luongo to the red line, pushing one behind the Winnipeg net. 27 seconds left in the period. Habibulin gave it away to Palffy. Wendell Clark knocked down as he stick-handled in front. Sweeney for the Islanders. Shoots one. That's knocked down before it can reach Habibulin and winds up at the other side of the ice where Shane Doan lifts it towards the Islander line. 10 seconds left in the first period. Chris King for Winnipeg blasts one that's bumped up high by Fischel, and time runs out in a first period that saw the Islanders get a lot of chances down low in front of Nikolai Habibulin, but the Jets were the only goal of the period.
Well, it was that, Howie, when you think that Quint hit the goalpost and then the Islanders killed off a two-man advantage, which are turning points in hockey games at times, but the Islanders, after all of the penalties that they had, they suffered through a first period here, outshot by 5 shots, but they did get 4 or 5 very good scoring opportunities. As you pointed out, Habibulin had to make 3 outstanding saves in that period.
All right, we'll get our first intermission activity started by coming back here to Winnipeg and saying hello, Numanen. Teppo Numanen of the Winnipeg Jets will be our guest. Here's your score at the end of 1.
Islanders hockey on Sports Channel.
Winnipeg Jets had the only goal of the first period here at the Winnipeg Arena, and the shot totals at the end of 1 reflect pretty entertaining first period.
Very nice first period. I suppose if you're a Winnipeg Jet, it looks just a little bit better. And Teppo Numanen, our guest between periods. Teppo, give us first your thoughts on the period, then there's some other things we'd like to talk about.
Well, like you guys said, it was kind of wide open game. Both teams had good scoring chances, and you know, it was kind of 2 o'clock first period. So I guess both teams are just now trying to play a stronger defensive style game.
Last week, of course, it turned into a shootout in the 7-5 win over the Islanders. Is that something that you tried to do, open the game up against them?
No, you know, that's not the way to win games in this league. You have to play strong defensive style of a game to win games here, and you know, so I don't know why that.
I suppose the other side of it, the fact, Teppo, that you got 2 goals in something like 40-some seconds. Now that must make you feel pretty good.
Well, it's always nice to score. You know, I don't score so often, so you know, it was nice to have 2 goals in a one shift and I get the big win.
Teppo, always something exciting about new things, and you will be moving along with your teammates down to Phoenix, and I suppose it's a mixed emotion, happy and sad, because you've had a lot of wonderful years here with Winnipeg.
Yeah, I've been here 8 years, and it's been a great city for me and my family, and we've been really enjoying ourselves here, and so it's gonna be really sad to leave and leave all the fans and friends here, but you know, that's the way the hockey business is going now, and you know, it's going to be a new interesting start in Phoenix.
Well, of course, as we pointed out in the first period, the Jets have been so involved in the community here, what with the Goals for Kids Foundation and everything else. I would imagine you've made a lot of close bonded relationships that are going to be tough to leave too, haven't you?
Oh, for sure. You know, I got lots of friends here, and you know, it's you know, I still have a job. It's tough for the fans and friends not to see NHL hockey and not to come to the games. So, you know, it's going to be a tough year for Winnipeg next year.
Teppo, it's been said that since the trade of Teemu Selanne, that the responsibility of carrying this hockey team is now spread out over 20 players instead of just a few. Is that fairly close to the truth?
Well, for sure, you know, every trade, and especially a big trade, you know, wakes everybody up and realize what we have to do, and you know, we talked it over, and we, you know, like we realized that you have to have all 20 players go every night and do their best, and you know, we've been having that, we've been having guys playing better and the whole team playing better. So, you know, it's those kind of things that, you know, everybody has to play better game in and out.
All right, Teppo, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, and good luck.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Teppo Numanen of the Winnipeg Jets, who will leave a proud history in this city when they depart for Phoenix at the end of this season. We'll be back with more after this. New type of Islanders hockey and score big savings. If you have a group of 25 or more, call 1-800-882-ISLES to reserve your seats now.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Islanders, and it's intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Islanders and Sports Channel is prohibited.
Well, the Islanders won't be home for a couple of weeks, not until Saturday, March 23rd, when they face the New Jersey Devils at 7 o'clock. All fans get an Islanders water bottle, courtesy of Bank America Mortgage. Tickets are available at the Coliseum box office, Ticketmaster, or charged by phone at 516-888-9000. That's Islanders water bottle night, courtesy of Bank America Mortgage. Saturday against the Devils, March 23rd, that is, at 7 p.m. The Devils are in a 3-3 tie with the Pittsburgh Penguins as we speak. That's in the third period in Pittsburgh. The Rangers lead the Washington Capitals 5-1. Also in the third period at US Air Arena in Landover. And Rick Bowness is handling the chores behind the bench for the Islanders this afternoon, along with Guy Charron. Mike Milbury off on a scouting mission in Detroit, getting a look at, we presume, Brian Berard, maybe talking some contract with Tom Laidlaw, and he's going to see some other games this week as well, with the Islanders not playing until Saturday.
That was our guest behind the bench. Guy.
Yeah, Guy Charron has his daughter with him on this trip, coming back to New York with the team. Right here, the second period begins. Islanders down a goal. Keith Tkachuk behind the net, tries to stuff one. Fischel got a piece of it, and then Doan missed the net on the rebound. Schneider puts it around to Kasparaitis. Islanders starting with Green, Clark, and Palffy up front. That pass missed Palffy. Maybe an icing if Newman wins the race, and he does. So they'll bring the face-off deep into the Islanders zone.
Speaking of Doan, he's won. I talked about the fact, as you get a look at Zygmunt Palffy, 4 19-year-olds in the lineup in this hockey game for the Winnipeg Jets. Doan is one of them. Shane Doan. Quint is the other. Kilger. Oleg Tverdovsky. Here's a close call for the Islanders. They make a mistake in their own end of the ice. There, Kasparaitis gets a piece of that one, deflecting it up into the seats, but good start for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, they predict that this kid is going to blossom into one of the premier power forwards in the league. Emulates Cam Neely, the injured Boston Bruin forward, and he's got a winning background. Shane Doan does. Won a couple of Memorial Cups playing with Cam Loops. And a lot of coaches, management people will tell you that they love when kids come out of winning programs because they feel that it kind of makes them that much hungrier to win quickly at the National Hockey League level.
Yeah, and he was described by Terry Simpson before the game to me, Howie, as a player, a better skater, but a player much similar to Flatley with a better skating ability.
Here's Stapleton shooting one through to Fischel that he scrambles to gather in. We've got Mets baseball on the air for you this evening against the Baltimore Orioles. Maybe John Franco will get in. We know Rico Brogna won't. He's out for a few weeks with a sprained knee. But Sports Authority game time at 6:30 tonight. And the first pitch a little after 7 o'clock. Exclusively on Sports Channel, your home for the 1996 Mets baseball season.
There's Mike Stapleton. A couple of goals. Notice him trying to tee it up and blast a couple in the first period. He didn't. One I think he hit the net with, and the other one deflected and went skittering wide. 9 goals, 22 points, 27 penalty minutes.
Do you sense, Eddie, that maybe the Jets are sensing that Eric Fischel is a little less than sharp in the early going this afternoon, and they're just trying to throw the puck at him from as many angles as possible?
When you have a young goaltender in, he's playing on the road, yeah, that's the thing to do, is if you do notice that he was juggling the puck a little bit or not so sure, keep piling it on him. Throw pucks at him from everywhere.
Well, Paul Stewart just spotted some interference done by Brian McCabe on Dallas Drake in the corner, and it's going to cost the Islanders 2 minutes as McCabe heads off and Green protests.
Well, Travis Green is going about it the right way. He's asking Paul Stewart about the play, and Stewart is explaining it to him. Referees don't mind that if you approach them, as long as you're not trying to embarrass them with a lot of hand and head gestures where the fans then think that the player is turning it on to a referee. But, usually they're pretty good about it all, but there's McCabe. He's in the penalty box. The Islanders seem to be the team that's getting most of the penalties because they're in their own end of the ice most of the time.
Boy, Paul Stewart, I think, just gave Scott LaChance a demonstration of what McCabe had done. He grabbed LaChance's stick and did a little work with it, as if to illustrate exactly why the penalty's been called. The end result is a Winnipeg power play for the 5th time. Newman in and Tverdovsky on the points. Newman in floats one that's juggled by Bichot, and it rolls to the corner. Luongo can't locate it. Turcotte does. Now it's Tverdovsky for Newman. Green pressured, but Tkachuk has the puck. But it's Tverdovsky. Stapleton couldn't control the feed. Luongo trying to hold off Stapleton and pin the puck at the same time, and a good job there by Chris Luongo.
So many times killing a penalty, Howie. You get the puck along the boards and you're trying to control it. You've got players on the power play after you. You've got to know that your other player, your forward. Here's a play here, a deflection a moment ago. Boy, they're tough on goaltenders, and the puck lays in front of the net. Look at Bichot as he tries to move in front of it, and he'd already committed himself. But you have to rely on the forward in this case as the penalty killer to be in that spot along the boards where you can blindly shovel the puck around the boards to a much like we've seen there, only with a head-up situation.
Nicholas Anderson gets the clear for the Islanders. Travis Green was on for the face-off, heads to the bench. Sweeney replaces him. Sweeney and Anderson up front. Kasparaitis and Schneider back. And here's Turcotte to Tkachuk. Keith Tkachuk over the Islander line. Down low Stapleton. He couldn't get it across to Turcotte because Kasparaitis made an effective block. Tverdovsky uses the boards to find Tkachuk. And Tverdovsky. Cross ice pass from Newman and doesn't connect, and Anderson and Sweeney exchange passes. This is Sweeney driving, backhanding, and Habebulen makes the save.
That was a delayed effect backhand. Good pursuit. Good second effort by Bob Sweeney. Keeps telling me we're going to get a short-handed goal. I'm going to get one, Ed. I'm going to get one. And he has been coming close. Here he is again. There's the check thrown on him, but he spins around the puck and fires the backhand into the catching glove of Alexei Habebulen.
Well, he has one short-handed goal this year. The frustrated Bob Sweeney does.
Well, he's coming close, and you can see that he's smiling on the bench. He's getting a little teasing from his right.
Well, he hasn't scored a goal of any time since December. His last goal came on the 16th against the Hartford Whalers. Got 6. Right now the Islanders down 1 and also down a man for another 50 seconds. With McCabe in the penalty box. Jets now have Dallas Drake up front with Karlev and Eastwood. Quint on defense along with Manson. This is Drake to Manson. Intercepted by Plot. And he Plot to Palffy off the boards. Manson gets position on him. Palffy keeps going. Manson shoves Palffy, or so it appeared anyway, into Habebulen. And let's see where this penalty is going to be called. This will be interesting.
Stewart is pointing back. It's a holding penalty. Whoever's going to get it.
I would think on Manson, right?
It's got to be Manson, as Palffy was trying to get to the net. Dave Manson heading for the penalty box. So the Islanders with 28 seconds remaining in the penalty to kill off. Manson joins.
So that'll even up the on-ice situation, and we thank our friends at Gillette for sponsoring Surf in the Isle. You got any questions or comments concerning the Islanders? Send them along to scisles@aol.com. Make sure to put down your name and your hometown, and we'll get to it as quickly as we can on an upcoming Islanders telecast.
3 shots on goal the Winnipeg Jets had against Bichot and Manson. McCabe in the penalty box, still has 28 seconds remaining, and then the Islanders get an opportunity. Only 1 goal separating these two teams, as it was from the first period. Alexander Semak getting ready.
He'll draw with Turcotte to the right of Habebulen, but it's Newman controlling the puck for Winnipeg. Tefo Newman off the right side leads Tkachuk, powering towards the net. Flecks off of his stick, and Bichot covers up.
That's a good job by Scott LaChance, because Tkachuk is very shifty. He handles the puck so well. He's strong. Scott LaChance, play the body, play the body. Never mind the puck. Let the goaltender worry about the puck. Number 7 in dark, moving back. There. Play the puck. There. That time you have to play the ball. Now he stays in front of him. You see him go to Keith Tkachuk. Let the goaltender handle the puck. Just keep him from getting it. Number 7, both sides. White Kachuk in the dark. Scott LeChance.
So in 18 seconds, the Islanders will have a power play for a minute and 32 seconds. The 4-on-4 sequence continues with Green and Clark, the forwards. Luongo and Kasparaitis back for New York. Turcotte and Kachuk up front for Winnipeg with Finley and Numminen on defense. Wendell took the whole club out to dinner last night at a popular steakhouse here in Winnipeg.
Handing out cigars.
False face-off there. Yeah, Wendell picked up the check last night. Mike Milbury took the team out to dinner at one of his favorite Italian restaurants on the North End in Boston before the game on Thursday. That was Wednesday night. I saw Martin Straka last night in the elevator. He says, "This is good. We don't have to pay for meals." And they get the meal money too, you know. So right now, 4-on-4, and shortly it'll be an Islander power play with Finley backhanding the puck into the Islander zone. I wonder why a box of cigars last night after buying the guys steaks or whatever else they chose. And here's Luongo up the left side. Now the penalty to McCabe is over. It's an Islander power play. Chris King for Winnipeg steers it around to the near side. It comes out of the zone. LeChance, Schneider play the puck. The Islander blue line. This is LeChance, Clark, Green, and Palffy are up front. Palffy accepts the pass. Try to throw it cross ice to Green, but Stapleton cut it off. Dumps it back into the Winnipeg zone. This is Finley, the former Islander. Jeff Finley banking it off the glass it all the way down. 56 seconds remain to the Islander power play. The Jets make a quick player change on the fly as Schneider comes up the middle. It's the red line and blasts one around. Drake first to get it for Winnipeg, but he can't control it. Here's LeChance, a drive. Habibulin the save. Clark was knocked down in front. The puck in behind the Winnipeg net. Clark couldn't reach it. Green does. Paddle LeChance. And Green again. Travis Green swings it to Schneider. 27 seconds to the Islander power play. Palffy to Schneider. The wrist shot knocked down in front by Tverdovsky. And Drake clears it to center. Schneider kept it away from Turcotte. Nice feed to LeChance. Scott LeChance for Palffy now. Zygmunt Palffy tried to pull it back to Green, but Turcotte intercepts and clears, and that'll take care of the Islander power play. So Dave Manson is up and out of the box, and the Jets have killed the time. 4.5 gone in the second period. 1-0 Winnipeg. Scott LeChance chased by Kachuk. Keith Kachuk wins the puck behind the Islander net. Keeps possession, but then couldn't find Numminen at the point, and Finley has to scramble back to the Winnipeg blue line. Gave it away to Bertuzzi. Now Anderson with Seamak. Anderson in for a shot. Habibulin makes 2 saves on Nicholas Anderson.
Well, he had to make a choice in a hurry. Pass it or go to the net and make a play. He went to the net, made the play. Good stop by Habibulin.
Nicholas Anderson's drought continues. He's gone 13 in a row without a goal, and there's a 2-line offsides pass accepted by Chad Kilger. So we'll step out. 14:49 to go, second period. Here's your Model scoreboard.
Welcome to Hockey 101. This is the puck. This is the net. This is the Zamboni. These are hits. These are saves. These are goals. And this, well, this is the ice. Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beer sponsors of the NHL.
We're really not that different. We make about the same. Both have kids in college, worry about putting away enough to ever retire. So why do I feel he's way ahead of me? Seems to be getting better advice. Comes up with stuff I never even think of. What's he have that I don't have?
Payne Weber. Invest with more intelligence.
Islanders are being outshot 21-13, but I'll tell you, busy guy, Nikolai Habibulin. Some good scoring chances that the Islanders have generated. Good hockey game for the Islanders in the sense a road team. They're showing patience, Howie. They're not getting carried away, although they did take some early penalties in this hockey game, and I'm sure Rick Bowness has tried to keep the spirit in the hockey game for the Islanders, but telling them be smart, don't take bad penalties.
Former Winnipeg Jet player and coach. Got to like this town quite a bit. Islanders in deep. Here's Bertuzzi banking one off the side of the net. Bertuzzi has it back. Couldn't get that one through Manson's check. And out comes Chassé, number 21 for Winnipeg. Heading to the net is Murray. He flicks the puck towards the net. Bichot gets it, and it rolls into neutral ice. Darren Quint, marked by Anderson, gave it up. Seamock, then spun around by Quint. Murray takes it back to Manson. 14:12 to go in the second period. Winnipeg leading 1-0 on Keith Tkachuk's first period power play goal. Seamock with a steal to Anderson. Nicholas Anderson couldn't get it to Bertuzzi. Puck flutters around. Derek Armstrong on the intercept. Jets can't clear. A drive. They score! Severin from the blue line. Got it past Happy Bowling with traffic in front. The Islanders have tied it at 1.
That's the thing. You've got to be patient. Somebody grabbing the puck. A souvenir.
Derek Armstrong must have tipped that for his first NHL goal.
I think that's what it's all about, Howie. He was standing down near the net when the puck came through, and the Islanders have tied it up here. 6 minutes and 6 seconds into the second period. There's Armstrong. Take a look. The play will develop over to the right point position. Given away by the Winnipeg Jets. There's the shot by Severin, deflected by Armstrong, and it's a 1-1 tie. He was standing just to the left of the goaltender. You see his stick move. The puck goes down, and Armstrong has made it 1-0 with his first NHL goal.
He became something of a favorite of Mike Milbury's in camp, and obviously didn't make the team, but Mike likes his grit, his tenacity, his animation. He's an excitable type of kid. But, you know, again, Mike openly questions whether or not he's got the skills to play at this level for a significant length of time. But Anderson coming up with his first NHL goal to get the Islanders into a 1-1 tie. And again, you see the line on the ice of Armstrong, Dooling, and Plot. This is Jarrett Dooling, number 34, bumped in the corner by Muni. Armstrong follows. Armstrong with a puck. Derek Armstrong looking for help. Gets it to Plot. That's chipped away by Eastwood, and now Korolev takes over for Winnipeg. Severin gets the only assist on Armstrong's first at 6:06 of the second period. So with the teams tied at 1, Tverdovsky for Winnipeg guides it up the middle to Drake for that play. Offsides thanks to the hit by Matthew Schneider.
I was thinking of that line, Howie, and when they put them together, much like a crash line or an energy line, whatever you want to call them. Remember back in the season, earlier in the season, maybe midway through the season, Mike Milbury looked down to the bench. He had Flatley, wasn't doing well. He was struggling. He had McGinnis that wasn't doing well. He was struggling, and decided that Derek King, excuse me. Yes, thank you. He was so he put them together, and they became a pretty good line. So what you got the same kind of a situation where you bring up a couple of guys who are fill-ins for injured players. Armstrong, yes,
with his arm around
Jared Dooling, and you've got Dan Plante, and you're saying, boy, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of youth. Let me put them out just to see what happens. And this is what's happening.
I think they have fed off of each other's enthusiasm.
Opportunity.
Saw Nicholas Anderson with his arm around Derek Armstrong. Here's Tkachuk. He ran into Sweeney at the Islander line. Doan follows. The chance working on him. Doan keeps going. Good strength by Shane Doan. Now Muni in deep to Tkachuk behind the net. Tkachuk tried to center. Gilbert throws it into the net, but it's clearly after the whistle for the net having been knocked off, and Paul Stewart immediately made the washout sign. That gives us a chance to step out with 12:36 remaining in the second period of a 1-1 tie on the Modell scoreboard.
During the Dodge President's Week celebration, you can get a new Dodge plus something you can bank on. Like $1,500 cash savings on a Dodge Intrepid, or get $1,000 cash savings on Dodge Stratus, or an extremely low lease rate on a Dodge Caravan. So get to the Dodge President's Week celebration for a new Dodge, plus money in your pocket. Right now, lease a Caravan for $0 down and $249 a month.
Sports Channel invites you to Meet a Met, brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Now we have a group here, 24 guys that love to play the game. They come out and you can see that they love to play the game, and they're having a lot of fun doing it. And you come to the yard with the expectation of winning every day. You go out there and have some fun, and good things happen. Good things happen to people who are out there for the right reason. when we come out on this field next year, everybody's going to have just a little bit more experience, just a little bit more confidence.
Watch number 7 in white. That's Keith Tkachuk. He falls into the net. The rest of it you can hear as the puck enters the net. Watch the position of the net. You can see that the net is off the moorings, kind of cut sideways when the puck went in. Tkachuk laying on the back. No question in anybody's mind, no goal.
So the score remains tied at 1 as Sweeney and Kilger get set to face off outside the Islander line. Sweeney, Straka, and Dalgarno. Make no mistake, that's the Islanders' 4th line this afternoon. The ones who are getting more and more ice time are the dueling Armstrong-Plante connection. Now it's Martin Straka wheeling along the boards. Getting it behind the net. Happy Bullen played it, lost it, it's loose, and squeezed around by Tkachuk. Severin with the hold takes a hit. Sweeney smacks it towards the net. Manson falls down, and Javi Bullen is fortunate to have that puck pinball right to him.
Oh, Dave Manson looked like he lost an edge. Looked like the skate just went out from underneath him. He fell down. The puck behind him. The Islanders crawling all over the place. But Javi Bullen gets a hold of the puck and hangs onto it. Stops the play. Wow, assistant coach, I guess so, standing behind the Islanders bench. Not a lot of experience, but he knows what it's all about. Assistant coach Pat Flatley scored his first goal of his career, his first game here in this arena.
On his first shot in the National Hockey League back in 1984. He shook up some of his employees yesterday. You know, he's a big shot, of course. He's one of the owners of the Great Canadian Bagel, which is a burgeoning franchise up here. Went in to take a look at the operation yesterday. Said, did everybody jump? Oh, no, Flatley's here. Said, nah, they don't even know who I am. Signing the checks, though. Here's Mike Stapleton with a cross-corner dump in. Chasing his King. Chris King centers it. Kasparaitis breaks that up for the Islanders. And it's Jeff Finley to get down the ice. Now Schneider for the Islanders. Over to Clark. Finley shuts off Clark's path, but Green finds the puck. Travis Green for the Islanders. Looking for a help. Gets it to Kasparaitis. Centers Green. He tipped it wide. The setup from Kasparaitis to Green, but Travis just wasn't able to push it into the open cage. Kasparaitis back for Palffy. Sigmund Palffy, a shot and a pad save by Javi Bullen. Palffy again, stopped by Javi Bullen. The rebound spurts behind the net, and Stapleton smacks it hard around. Kasparaitis couldn't get it, but Schneider's got it backed up.
Wow, a couple of great chances for the Islanders, but that goaltender, Javi Bullen, gets in the way again.
Jeff Finley for Winnipeg ices the puck as Schneider comes back to touch up, and the faceoff will come deep in the Winnipeg zone. And Islander fans, you can't bring the home rink with you, but you can bring the ice. Bud Ice. Ice brewed for the smooth taste that goes down easy. Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL.
Boy, I'll tell you, he is doing some job. Here's the play. Kasparaitis down low. There's Travis Green tipping it. He got enough of it to send it just outside the goalpost. And Sigmund Palffy with his moves. And Javi Bullen holding his own, standing up, challenging. And a backhander by Palffy. He gets them all, but the loose puck. Finally, it's an icing. You know that there were 203 players drafted ahead of Javi Bullen in 1992.
Nicholas Anderson for the Islanders. Lost it behind the net. Seamock after it along with Anderson. Eastwood in there for Winnipeg, number 32. Bertuzzi got the puck. Beats Seamock. Seamock put it towards the net. It's knocked away by Muni, and out come the Jets. Dallas Drake smacks one around the boards. Pichot cuts it off. Shovels it the other way. Eastwood intercepts. Centering feed. Drake, they score! Dallas Drake was able to convert the pass from behind the net, and the play started with Pichot moving the puck inadvertently right to a Winnipeg player in the corner.
That was a good shot by Drake, Howie. He had to move it quickly. He's not trying to pick the spot that he put it through. The young fan, he approves of the go-ahead goal for the Winnipeg Jets. There's the play around the boards as Pichot handed it away. Then from behind the net, a little dump pass to the front by Korolev. converted by Drake, and it's a 2-1 lead as the puck comes behind the net. There it is. There's Korolev. There's the quick shovel shot. All you want in that position is to get it on the net. Force the goaltender to stop it, because chances are it's going to stay a loose puck if it doesn't go in.
Do you think Bichot did not hear something he should have heard in terms of communication from his defense that forced him to play that puck to the wrong
Well,
man?
he was just trying to get it up the board. He thought he was going to get it up to the winger up there on the right side, but it was intercepted.
Well, a penalty is going to be called here against the Jets. Derek Armstrong was knocked down in the corner to the right of Nikolai Habibulin, and the Jets are going to take a penalty. It looks like Rob Murray's going to go off for a hold, and the Islanders, who have just fallen behind 2-1, will go to the power play. Make sure, by the way, that you mark down April 1st, Monday, on your calendars, not for any April Fool's reasons, but because opening day for the New York Mets, less than a month away. And Sports Channel will bring you the season's opener as the St. Louis Cardinals, now managed by Tony La Russa, visit Shea Stadium to begin the 96 regular season. Catch more than 75 live Mets games on Sports Channel this year, beginning with opening day, Monday, April 1st, the Mets and the Redbirds, and we'll have it for you at 1:30 only on Sports Channel.
Now, Dallas Drake has given the Winnipeg Jets a lead here, and there you get a look at him. With Solani being traded, Kilger had always worn number 18. He gave it to him. He gave up his sweater so Kilger could have it. He said, I'll do that only if you'll give me your paycheck. It didn't work. He didn't get the paycheck.
Islander power play with Rob Murray off for the hold at the 10-minute mark. In the corner, it's Dan Plott. How about that? Look at this power play unit. Plott, Armstrong, and Dooling. They've earned it. I mean, they have absolutely earned the opportunity now to get the power play time. And it's Schneider spinning it around the boards. Plott first on it in the corner. Hit by Finley. Dooling follows. Now to Plott. Danny Plott till a chance at the point. Plott once again. Looking for a play. Armstrong takes it from Plott. Eric Armstrong to the other side of the ice. Now to Schneider. The drive, but save by Habibulin on a high tester by Matthew Schneider.
Scab, Howie. I love to see that kind of a save. Habibulin looked like he didn't see it, but he saw it, didn't see it, but he instinctively went for it, and he shot his left hand out and just stabbed it out of the air as the Islanders power play. And here, Schneider rips it. Someone skates in front of him, but he's still got it. Talk about concentration on the puck. Habibulin with this beautiful save. I'm not sure whether it was on the net. Doesn't matter, but Jared Dooling is cruising across in front, trying to distract the goaltender, but he couldn't do it.
So the face-off will be to the left side of Nikolai Habibulin. Islanders change up and get Green, Clark, and Palffy out as the forwards with LaChance and Schneider back. Jets control the draw. Manson and Finley are back. Dallas Drake, number 11, who just does squeeze it past Green, and Mike Eastwood, number 32, are the Winnipeg forwards. 8:55 to go in the second. 2-1 Winnipeg. Here's Green gaining the zone. Out of Palffy. Remember, Palffy has goals in his last 5 games. Manson clears it past Schneider. Also a statement, I'm sure, by, in this case, Rick Bowness and Guy Charron, getting Dooling, Armstrong, and Plott out. A statement of confidence in them, and maybe it sends a message to the rest of the guys, too, huh?
Well, I don't think there's so much of a message needed in this particular game, Howie, because the Islanders have not played that poorly. The only thing they've done wrong in the game was early on they took bad penalties. They killed off most of that, particularly the two-man advantage, but I think that's just a way of saying, hey, you guys are working hard, and thank you very much. Nothing against anybody else.
Clark centers Palffy. He scores! Zygmunt Palffy with a root job on the power play. It's a 6-game goal-scoring streak for Zygmunt Palffy, and the Islanders have tied it at 2.
Beautiful shot. Great move by Clark to get the puck to him, but he knew who to give it to. Zygmunt Palffy, as he puts it in the loft. 6 straight games now. Here comes Wendell Clark. Look at him hold the puck. There's a little pass. Look how flat it is. Boom, right in the top of the net. In front of Craig Muni. Looked like Muni might be able to get to it. There. Stuck his stick out, didn't reach it. Habibulin having to hold the left side of the net because Clark is dangerous. Zygmunt Palffy pops it into the top of the net.
So the Islanders get into a 2-2 tie. And the numbers on Zygmunt Palffy become more and more impressive as you read them. Goals in 6 straight games. Now he's got goals in 10 of the last 12 games in which he's played. And he has 10 goals over these last 6 games. This is 8 goals in his last 4 games inclusive. And again, I mean, numbers, you can get lost trying to decipher numbers, but they add up to a burgeoning star in Zygmunt Palffy, who's lifted the Islanders into a 2-2 tie. Clark and Schneider assisting on the power play at 11:52 on Zygmunt Palffy's 35th goal of the year. There's the Model scoreboard.
There's no fan like a hometown hockey fan, and there's no card like the official no annual fee NHL MasterCard. Call 1-800-780-6605 and apply for the only MasterCard with your favorite team's logo and no annual fee, plus exclusive cardholder benefits. So take your shot and with a credit card made just for hockey fans like you, the no annual fee NHL MasterCard. Call 1-800-780-6605 now to get your exclusive National Hockey League MasterCard.
Seems like whatever you do, you're charged for how much you use things. How long? How often? That's why 9X invented unlimited calling. No more watching the clock or waiting to call. With 9X, make any local or regional call without restrictions, unlike other calling plans. So make 1 million calls and never worry about the charges, because they're the same every month. Want to stop the meter? Call 9X.
What makes it so much easier to put the puck in the net? Watch Wendell Clark when he gives the puck. Look how flat it is. Across the ice, bang. You can do anything you want with it when you're a good scorer like Zygmunt Palffy, particularly when the puck is flat on the ice.
7.5 to go now in the second period. Islanders have trailed twice and have even the game up both times. Manson with a lead to Tkachuk. Keith Tkachuk powers to the net. He shoots. Oh, Fichot got his stick out. Tkachuk couldn't get the puck upstairs, and Fichot robbed him on the breakaway. That keeps the game tied at 2. Tkachuk steps into Armstrong. But Jared Dooling for the Islanders feeds Plot. Now Plot drives and backhands, and Howie Rose covers that.
What a save by Eric Fichot. Wow. Great pass to spring Tkachuk loose, and Fichot beats him on the low side. Let's take a look at the MCI proof positive replay of the game. It doesn't get any better than this. 1-on-1, a breakaway. Tkachuk goes to the forehand. Look at Fichot. What a stop. We've seen some outstanding goaltending in this hockey game, both ends of the ice, and here, some more of it. Wow. Talk about going in 2 directions at the same time. Fichot, he knew he had to do something spectacular to beat 41-goal scorer Keith Tkachuk.
So the face-off will be in the circle to the right of Nikolai Habibulin. The Islanders have Sweeney, Dalgarno, and Straka up front. Gasparitis and Schneider back. And for Winnipeg, it's Eastwood with Drake and Korolev. And on defense, Craig Muni and Oleg Tverdovsky. And it is not coincidental that the veteran Muni is paired with young Tverdovsky. Jets love what Craig Muni has given them since coming over from the Buffalo Sabres for Darren Shannon. I should say Daryl Shannon. His brother Darren is injured here in Winnipeg playing for the Jets. And the puck sent all the way down to the Islander line. Daryl Shannon with Darren Shannon. Not related to the late Del Shannon, though. Remember the song Runaway Eddie, right? Classic in the early 60s.
Or John Shannon.
John Shannon, yeah.
Producer.
Yep. Long-time Hockey Night Canada producer. And it's Tverdovsky back in neutral ice. Sweeney chases him. Tverdovsky looks for Drake. Schneider steps into Dallas Drake and cues the puck back towards the Winnipeg blue line. 6:10 to go in the second period. We'll hear from Dallas Drake after the second. Talk about the hit last week that put Derek King out for the season, delivered by Dallas. Tverdovsky knocked down, and Eastwood dumps in. We'll also hear from Derek Armstrong. who tipped in his first NHL goal in this period. Straka missed Palffy with that pass. It'll go for Teppo Numminen behind the Winnipeg Jets net. Under 6 minutes to go in the period. Luongo lets that one go to Fischel. Turcotte first to get it. Centers King, and he missed the net. Turcotte and King. Now it's LeChance. Down to Clark. Wendell Clark banks it to Green. Palffy coming too as Green gains the zone. Travis Green stick handles down low. Palffy. Zygmunt Palffy. Nice feed to Luongo at the point. The drive sails wide. LeChance with a pinch. Stapleton lets him go. Scott LeChance moves to the other side. Keeps the puck. Now to Clark. Green. It's a shot blocked by Stapleton. Palffy on it. Turcotte on Palffy. And it's Green shoveling the puck free. Tries to cue it to Palffy. Gets it to him behind the net, but then Zygmunt Palffy threw it through the slot, and it comes all the way down. Penalty coming up here. A delayed call will be against the Winnipeg Jets as King makes contact. And Paul Stewart will give the Islanders a power play on the trip against the Jets. Late second period. Here's your Modell's board.
Hey, hockey fans. There's a new official in the NHL. One that's making a big hit. Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beer sponsors of the NHL. It goes down easy and icy smooth. Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light. An official you'll like.
Your life is controlled from above, where satellites can relay hundreds of TV channels. Discovery Channel 5. Track whales in the ocean. Follow elephants in Africa. Keep an eye on enemies, or keep an eye on you. See Eyes in the Sky, a world premiere special when Spy Watch begins. Sunday at 9 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
That is Tommy Soderstrom closest to your screen, sitting next to the penalty box where Mike Stapleton is stationed for a trip. And the reason for that, there's no room for the Islanders' backup goaltender on the bench.
It's lonely at the top. Yeah, he gets a pretty good seat over there, but unless you're friendly with the fans around you, you don't know one to talk to.
Well, at least it's a front row seat for Tommy Soderstrom, even if it's across the ice from where his mates are sitting. So the Islanders to the power play once again. Nicholas Anderson gets in over the line. Manson squeezes him. Seamock keeps going. Centers for Bertuzzi. But now the puck taken by Drake, and he chips it out of the zone. I mentioned before, maybe a message sent to some other players with the kid line, if you will, Dooling and Armstrong and Font getting some power play time earlier, and Abdul will gobble that up. Well, here's some underachieving forwards as of late. Bertuzzi, Seamock, and Anderson. Perhaps, if there was a message intended, the receivers.
We talked about this Winnipeg team as well, Howie, and how the responsibility of the play is now spread out evenly, or more evenly, amongst 20 players, we'll say. And in this hockey game, Rick Bowness doing the same thing with the Islander team. He's spreading the time and spreading the responsibility of this hockey game amongst more of the players than what we're used to seeing with the Islander team.
Alexander Seamock, right in the middle of your picture there, has not had a point in his last 8 games played, and he's here really for offensive reasons. There you look at first Blunt, then Armstrong, and Jared Dooling.
Well, you know, when you think of a player like Alexander Seamock, if he takes heed of what they're trying to tell him about trying to improve his game when he doesn't have the puck, it could go a long way of securing a job here for a few years while this team grows as a young team.
Here's Travis Green, minute 15 left to the power play. Now to Schneider, the drive off of Habibulin. Kachuk for Winnipeg, to Numminen, and he clears it down the ice. And they'll send the Islanders on the retreat with a minute to go to the man advantage. Scott LeChance, the Islanders zone up to Schneider. Cross ice Green. Carries it into the Winnipeg zone, but the play offside. He's got to reach behind him to gain control.
Well, you can see how close it is at the blue line when you're flying and you're trying to get going here with the power play. That puck moved back onto his skates, and the difference between where his skates are and where the puck should have been on his stick, maybe 2 or 3 feet, just enough to create the offside. Travis Green, I don't think anybody spends more time than he does working on his lumber, we used to call it. He's constantly working and reworking his hockey sticks.
He took it kind of personally that Keith Tkachuk of the Jets was actually here working on his sticks even earlier than Travis was today.
No, don't tell him. Do you think he knew about it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He saw it. They're across the hall from each other here, across the ice, I should say. And he saw Tkachuk. I think Travis kind of got a little ticked off. But wait a minute. Nobody ever gets to a rink earlier than he does.
Some of these guys, particularly Travis Green, I mean, we come down before the team leaves the hotel to get to the rink, and he's usually with us or ahead of us.
Dallas Drake can't clear. LaChance's shot skips wide. Half minute to go to the Islander power play. Smacked around and all the way down by Jeff Finley of Winnipeg. So it's LaChance back to get the puck. He and Schneider have the points. Palffy, Green, Clark the forwards. Here's Schneider racing to the Winnipeg line. Spreading it out to LaChance. Around to the near corner. Wendell Clark sizes up the play. Hit by Finley. Newman in, can't clear. Clark digs it out. Now to Palffy. Floats one towards the net. Bumped down by Newmanen. And he pokes it out of the zone. Dallas Drake held up by the stick of Schneider. Fans want an interference penalty that does not come. And the penalty is over. The team's at full strength. Jeff Finley hits Stapleton as he tried to get that puck deep into the Islanders zone. Jets send it back the other way, or at least the Islanders do. Howie Bullen spins it around. Clark on the intercept. Now to Palffy. Centering feed comes all the way to McCabe. Pushes it down low. Newmanen clears the zone. 2:22 to go in the second period of a 2-2 tie. The final appearance of the New York Islanders in Winnipeg. Jets will move to Phoenix at the end of this year, and they'll have an International Hockey League club in this building next season. Shane Doan couldn't get it deep. It hit McCabe. Armstrong played it ahead. It hit a Jet. Comes to Dueling. The drive is stepped aside by Howie Bullen. Bouncing puck gathered in, but now we get a whistle and another penalty, an interference call. This one will go against the Jets. The Islanders, who had to defend against several early Winnipeg power plays, will now get their power play cranked up once again. Fans, get ready for a brand new edition of Sports Busters. It'll be on Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Brand new interactive sports trivia game show on Sports Channel. Tune in for details. Find out how you can play from home. Catch Sports Busters Tuesday at 10:30 only on Sports Channel.
Take a look at Jared Dueling. Look at him skate up to. Look at him control the puck. He keeps his feet moving, crosses the line. Good shot by Jared Dueling. Kind of a play that just coaches love that, Howie. They see young players kind of taking it up. Rip through the middle. Give him the puck. I want the puck. I want the puck. Get him the puck and then do something with it. And he did all of that. That's why he and his line mates getting ice time.
So it's Finley for interference. 18:02 the time as he rode Dan Plott away from the puck in the corner. And the Islanders will go to the power play once again. The Islanders on their fifth power play of the afternoon. Jared Dueling will take the draw with Tkachuk. Again, it's Dueling, Armstrong, and Plott the forwards. Armstrong to McCabe. Getting it to the corner. Manson. Blasted past Luongo the first time. Oh, Armstrong just leaned into Drake. Gave him an elbow, too, that Paul Stewart didn't catch. Man saw it. And here's Plott in over the line. Couldn't get that one across the ice, but it caroms to Luongo. Luongo to Plott. Now to Armstrong. Luongo and Armstrong exchanging passes. This is Armstrong, number 14, firing one, sticked aside by Howie Bullen. Minute 24 to go to the power play. Almost exactly that time left in the period, and McCabe scores! Ryan McCabe from the right point fires one home. The Islanders with a power play goal, lead it 3-2.
Oh, and look at what kind of a power play you have. All kinds of guys out there you don't normally see. McCabe firing it from the point position. Bang, into the lower left-hand corner. Jared Dueling was standing in front of the net as McCabe turned quickly and fired it. There goes the shot. Dueling, number 34. There he is, turning around, signaling that the puck is in. The Islanders, for the first time in the hockey game, have a one-goal lead as Brian McCabe, look at how well he moved laterally across the blue line. There he is, pulling it into himself. Talked about that. The game against Boston, he did that several times to get leverage on the puck, get a little harder shot away, and he put it in the right place.
Well, the Islanders have used 43 players this year. Derek Armstrong becoming the 43rd a couple of games ago. And with just about the entire farm system having been looked at, you're seeing a combination of players from that system productive over the last little while and getting more and more opportunity. Anderson gains the zone and pinballs to the net, and Habibulin is forced to cover up momentarily as that one came off of Tempo Numanen's skate. McCabe's third from Armstrong and Luongo at 18:43, the power play goal for the Islanders that gives them the 3-2 lead. Now Finley starts up for Winnipeg. Bichot couldn't get it around. Gasparitis has it back, and he clears the zone. 20 seconds to go in the period. Bob Sweeney got that puck for the Islanders, deflecting off of his stick. And in behind the net, mindful of a broken stick, is Matthew Schneider. Circles away from Doan. And that busted stick shaft tying up Bichot as well, and the puck was centered across by Kilger. Doan couldn't connect. Schneider leans into Doan as time runs out in the period. Doan went back at Schneider. Hoppy took a little shot at Doan from behind as well. Now he and Quint trying to hold each other off away from the scrum, which peels off.
What a great opportunity for Winnipeg. Doan had the puck come out. He had a wide open net. Bichot caught behind the net. It went right between Doan's legs. Never got a shot away.
So the Islanders come from behind, trailed 1-0 and 2-1. They got even and finally pull in front. Brian McCabe's power play goal gives New York a 3-2 lead at the end of 2 periods. We'll meet with Derek Armstrong after this.
Hilton presents Triple Miles. Now when you charge a qualifying stay with an American Express card, you'll earn triple miles every second stay on 11 major airlines. Triple miles, only with Hilton and American Express.
2 reasons to choose Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile, the cellular leader. Your 2 sides. Your emotional side would love a cellular phone. Your rational side thinks it's too expensive. Your emotional side wants to stay in touch with family, friends, and tow trucks. Your rational side says, no way, we can't afford it. Well, look at this, both of you. It's Talk Along, the cellular service that's just $14.99 a month. Call now and we'll sign you right up. And we'll send you this Nokia cellular phone for just $39.99. With Talk Along, you can call your kids from the store, your boss from a cab, a tow truck from a ditch for $14.99 a month. Look, have your rational side pull out any major credit card and call now. You'll get Talk Along service for $14.99 a month, a Nokia phone for $39.99, plus put your monthly service on a credit card and there's no $25 activation fee. Your rational side will love that. So get yourself together. Get Talk Along. Call now with your credit card and there's no $25 activation fee. Talk Along, only from Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
When it comes to mufflers, nobody knows the ropes like Meineke.
At Meineke, you'll always get a high-quality muffler at a great price.
They don't call us champs for nothing.
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
You may face some stiff penalties with a checking account at a big New York bank if your balance falls below the huge minimum, for using an ATM, for writing a check. So you may want to open a classic checking account at Home Federal. Balance is down to $100? No penalty. Want to use our ATMs or write a check? No penalty. Hey, it's only fair. At Home Federal, you don't have to go far to get far.
Just when you thought you'd been there before, a show is created that will change your mind forever with high-tech clowning, rock concert sound, online and wired, black lights and brilliance, cyberspace, giant webs, interactive, intertwined, and Ariana, the human arrow. There's only one place to catch her flight. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, the greatest show on earth. It will change your mind forever.
Coming to Nassau Coliseum March 13th through 19th. Buy tickets at the box office and Ticketmaster.
Howie Rose at Westfall back in Winnipeg. The Islanders have taken the lead on the scoreboard as well as the shot board through 2 periods. 3-2 New York. Joining us right now is Islander rookie Derek Armstrong, who came up with his first National Hockey League goal in that second period. In years to come, Derek, is this going to be a 50-foot laser beam?
Yeah, I think when I get a little bit older and have some grandkids, I'll say I walk down the ice and probably play a top shelf. But there's a nice shot by Sevy there, and I just kind of went to the net. I was scared of really getting hit by the puck, and I just deflected it, went in, so I was kind of happy with it.
Well, we'll give you an opportunity to take a look at the shot here. You get into position and then take it from there.
Right here, I think there's a little bit of a giveaway right there by the defenseman. Sevy just shot at the net, and I guess I got lucky and got a piece of it. I worked a little bit on deflection pucks in practice, and I think I'll frame that stick in a little bit of goal tonight.
Derek, share with us a little bit. I mean, you've created a lot of excitement, your line. What do you talk about before the game with your two line mates?
I think we just talk about having have good, strong shifts out there and really finishing our checks. I think that's the most important thing about the NHL compared to the AHL, where me and Jared Doole have been playing as of late. You just go out there and you got to finish your checks because guys will jump by you awfully quick. And I play with Jared Dooling all year, and I play with Dan Platt a little bit in Salt Lake City. So we're just trying to add a little bit of excitement to the team and a little bit of life as we're a little bit of the youth on the team. So hopefully we can continue it with a lot of success.
Derek, you guys got some power play time in that period as well. And when you're given that kind of an opportunity, do you feel more like an offensive player than even before the game?
Oh, exactly right. It's so much nicer when you get a lot of confidence. And I played power play a little bit when I was in junior, but really never as a pro player. And it's really nice getting power play time. And Jared Dooling and Darren Plant, I can't say enough about them. They've been getting me the puck out there, and they've been working really hard. And I'm trying to get Jared Dooling a goal there. I set him up in the slot, and he just missed the net. So hopefully he'll be the next one in the third period.
Can you share with us some of the conversation that maybe went on after Brett Severn dove in, grabbed the puck?
Oh, Sevy's such a great guy. I think he was pretty more excited than me, but I was kind of excited, and I'm just happy to get the puck, and hopefully I'll ship it to my parents tonight.
Yeah, he really took off after that puck, too, Sevy did. Listen, before the season, Mike Milbury had gotten a look at you, and recently he told us that you became something of a favorite of his. He wasn't sure whether or not your skill level would be NHL quality over the long haul. Did he spend any particular time talking to you about that?
No, I really haven't spent much time talking to him except since I've come up this year, and we've got a lot of ice in Worcester this year, me and Dooling, and I think that's helped our skill level a little bit. We stay out after practice every day and work on shooting and working on handling puck, and hopefully we can continue playing together and hopefully get a lot of success and help the team win on the long run.
Well, Derek, congratulations on your first NHL goal, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much for having me.
Okay, that's Derek Armstrong of the New York Islanders. He's helped his club to a 3-2 lead over the Winnipeg Jets. 2 periods in the books in the Islanders' final appearance here at the Winnipeg Arena. When we get back, we'll talk to the Jets' Dallas Drake about that hit last week on Derek King.
Exciting.
The Winnipeg Jets 3-2 at the end of 2 periods. These teams played against each other last week at the Nassau Coliseum. Dallas Drake of the Winnipeg Jets delivered a thunderous shot on Derek King of the Islanders, which broke King's jaw and knocked Derek out for the season. Earlier today, I asked Drake what he thought about the hit.
Well, first, I didn't know he was hurt as bad as he was. I didn't think he was cut, or I knew I hit him pretty hard, but after I skated over there and I see how injured he was, I was pretty shaken up at first, and I felt for him pretty badly, obviously.
Did you expect any of the Islander players to take a shot at you during the game? Were you playing at all, looking over your shoulders?
Well, at first, I guess a little bit I was. I mean, if somebody hits somebody on our team that hard, somebody's going to want to take a liberty on you, but nobody really seemed to do anything. I remember Wendell Clark mentioned to me if it was a clean hit or not, and I told him it was, and then nothing really happened after that.
Have you ever been hit that hard?
Oh, a couple of times I've been hit pretty hard. Fortunately enough, I've never really missed that many games due to a hit like that, but I have had my share of getting knocked down.
Did any of the players say anything to you during the game about, don't worry, we know it was a clean hit, or is that just never said or done?
Well, I was pretty shaken up after the first period, and a lot of my teammates came up to me and told me, don't worry about it, it's a clean hit, stuff like that happens, but sometimes it affects you the way you play, and like I said, I was pretty shaken up, and it affected my play for some point in the second period, because I was worried quite a bit about him, but I just try to put it out of my mind and play.
If Derek's watching right now, we have a feeling he is. Any message for him?
Well, I just hope he's all right and everything works out the best for him. Like I said, it's a part of the game and things like that happen, but sometimes you can't help but feel badly when situations like that happen.
While you watch the clip of Dallas Drake going to the bench after the hit, you could see the legitimate concern on his face. He's been a class act about this from start to finish, all the way from last week until the time he spent with us in our studios earlier this afternoon. Islanders up a goal. We'll have highlights after this.
Islanders hockey,
sponsored by J.C. Penney and Sports Channel for the final home game of the year, April 12th at 7:30 against the Florida Panthers. It's the Islanders' final game here in Winnipeg. which will lose the Jets to Phoenix at the end of this season. The Islanders, though, have a 1-goal lead at 3-2 as the third period begins. Mike Stapleton, number 14 for the Jets, whips it around the boards into the Islander end of the ice. Wendell Clark gets the puck back for New York and skips it rink wide to Palffy. Here's Zygmunt Palffy dangling a bit. Now loses his edge in the corner, and it's Chris King up with a puck to Finley. Is it tougher to make a move like that in the first half minute of a period? Whoop, we got something going behind the play here. Wendell Clark and Chris King are tangled up. The penalty's coming up. I was just wondering, Eddie, about the move Ziggy made. Is it easier to lose an edge or just fall down because the ice is still wet from having been...
Well, no, I don't think it's so much the ice. It's just that, you're leaning into your skates that much. He does everything very quickly, and for him, he wants to plant the edges and move the other direction. The skates just gave out. Here's Chris King, Wendell Clark. King likes to play aggressive hockey. So does Clark at times. And here they both play aggressively enough to draw penalties.
Well, these will be coincidental minors. Each get roughing penalties at the 35-second mark of the third period. So we'll see some 4-on-4 action for the next 2 minutes.
One thing about the ice here, as it is in a lot of the Canadian cities, they've been making it here for so many years that it's very good. Ice is hard, but not too hard. And notice that most of it, you were pointing out that it might have been a little bit wet down in that one corner, but a lot of people think that the ice should be dry by the time the players come out to start the period on it. That means that it is cured properly and it's ready to go.
Oh, he was raving about the ice this morning. I mean, Travis has not played all that much here, with the Islanders coming in just once a year and not at all last season. But, does he love the ice in this building. So it's a 4-on-4 sequence with Schneider and McCabe on defense for the Islanders. Green and Sweeney up front for now. Quinton Manson back. Kachuk and Karlev up for Winnipeg, and here's Sweeney with a backhander. Steered aside by Habibulin. Keith Kachuk for the Jets. Comes to center, up for Karlev. Couldn't hold onto it. McCabe starts play the other way. McCabe with Plante. This is Dan Plante cutting back towards his own blue line before shoveling into the Winnipeg zone. Dave Manson, number 4 for the Jets, not on the trade block. Somebody asked Terry Simpson about a rumor of Manson heading the other way, and he said, now why would we do that? We're looking for defensemen here. Shopping days are dwindling with the trade deadline March 20th, just 11 days away. Here's Darren Turcotte for Winnipeg, up with the red line. Turcotte into the Islanders zone, ran into Schneider. Dallas Drake for Winnipeg, curls it to the corner. Schneider again on Turcotte. Drake again on the puck. Kasparaitis puts the body on Drake, keeps going. Dallas Drake centers one. Turcotte missed it. And here comes Nicholas Anderson up the left side for New York. Newman in back. Anderson works on him. Newman will have none of it. And now it's Drake accepting it across 2 lines. That is an offsides pass.
Take a look at our Chrysler League leaders in the category scoring. Goal scoring. And who's in that? Yes. This is updated. This is the latest. Yager and Mario Lemieux up there with 55, and McGillney of Vancouver. Keith Kachuk, 41, and right behind him, Pat Verbeek, Paul Correa, Peter Bondra. Some players that are right in behind the 41 that the amazing Keith Kachuk has, just 23 years old.
And those 41 goals tie his career high set 2 years ago. There's a guy who 2 seasons ago had 255 penalty minutes. They want him to play smart, yet be aggressive. But coming into play today, Kachuk only had 96 minutes in penalties, and that's a severe drop from the number that he reached a couple of years ago. Face off inside the Winnipeg zone. Green and Kachuk draw. And it's Oleg Tverdovsky on the puck for Winnipeg. Tverdovsky and Kilger came here from Anaheim for Teemu Solani. Chris Luongo behind the red line sent it all the way down, so icing coming up to the Islanders here with 20 seconds left of the 4-on-4.
Howie, we just came out of Boston, and of course we talked about when we were there how desperate the Boston Bruins were, but they lessened some of the desperation they had. Leclerc and Falloon for Philadelphia had scored to make it 2-0 in the first 2 periods, and then Dean Chenauth, Alec and Sweeney, and Boston wins the game 3-2. That's a tremendous win for the Boston Bruins. The ex-Islander Dean Chenauth got their scoring started.
Yeah, the Bruins, of course, hoping to climb over the Montreal Canadiens for a playoff spot. Now they're just 1 point behind. The Canadiens have a game in hand. 3 games left between the Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. And don't forget, these Winnipeg Jets are still trying to hang on. Right now, they're in 7th place in the conference with 62 points, 1 better than struggling Toronto, and 5 better than the closest pursuers who are out of the playoffs right now, the LA Kings. Sigmund Palffy stops and shoots. That one slides towards Habibullah and puts the stick on it. Now Newman in for Winnipeg. Puts it back to Kachuk. And again Newman in. Get over the Islander line. Teppo Newman in, backhand one wide. Severin put a good hip check on him. A legal hit. Just as he released the puck, Severin leaned his hip into him. And he went crashing into the boards.
Wow, he went in very heavily. Left side of the body, Newman in, crashing in. His shoulder, hip, left side, crashing hard into the boards. Howie, not a good sign. Looked as though he had been hurt the minute he hit the boards. The only thing you hope for here is that he had the wind knocked out of him. And if it's that, then of course he will recover from that. But that was, he'd lost his balance somewhat. Here he is, leaning on the edges. He gets hit. Now he gets tipped over. He's out of control. And it's very difficult to gain yourself so that you can hit the boards the proper way. But here he is leaning in. Good shot there. Severin pushed him away, kept him off balance, and then, of course, in falling, and he's not that far from the boards. He doesn't have time. He doesn't have time to do anything other than just try and protect himself. On the knees this way is generally a good sign. Shaken up, yes. Wind knocked out of him, probably. Just hope that it's not anything serious.
So the ongoing concern for Teppo Numminen. We mentioned before how general managers around the league always mention Numminen when they go shopping for defensemen. The guy that they inquire about first and foremost here in Winnipeg is Teppo Numminen. And Ed, you might have been right on about that wind being knocked at him, because he looks pretty well all right.
Yeah, I'm glad for that. It's just too bad. Those are things, you know, I often think, Howie, that the young players today, I'm talking about kids playing in the minor leagues, don't learn how to do what he just did. You could see him kind of swirling and twisting as he fell to the ice. And all he was trying to do is to put himself in a position so that his arms and his legs were tucked in to the best spot he could get in, so that when he went into the boards, he knew he was going in there, and in hard. Was it? Yeah, it's the wind. They're opening up his lungs a little bit with that move. Gives you a little more freedom to breathe or suck in the air deeply. But young players today, they don't learn enough about how to fall into the boards, into the posts, and just do the kinds of things we saw him, Newman, do there as he twisted quickly to fall properly into the boards.
2:40 gone in the third period. Isles up a goal and an offsides whistle to Shane Doan. Oh, he floats one to the Islander net.
Doan has had a good game for the Winnipeg Jets so far through the first 2 periods. Handles himself well, plays his position well. And if you play for Terry Simpson, that's what he wants, positional play. Hard work and positional play.
Well, he's out there with a couple of other big boys, Kilger and Kachuk. For this face-off against Travis Green, Kilger will take the draw. Palffy and Clark, the other Islander forwards. And it's Darren Quint, number 5 for Winnipeg, sliding it to the Islander line. Sigmund Palffy with a goal this afternoon, knocks it back the other way. Ziggy now has scored goals in 6 consecutive games. 35 goals on the year. And another icing coming up here to the Islanders as Quint comes back to touch up, so we'll step out with 3:06 having been played in the third period. Islanders up on the Modell scoreboard.
Hey guys, what do they call this, Bud? Ice? Ice screwed. No, it's a bottle looks like ice. Bottle does look like ice. Ice screwed you. The bedhead? The bottle is jagged and it looks like ice. Ice screwed. Jagged.
Hey, you guys! Take it outside.
Okay, Coach.
Bud Ice, the official beer of the Hanson brothers.
Stupid machine took my quarter.
You may face some stiff penalties with a checking account at a big New York bank if your balance falls below the huge minimum. For for using an ATM, for writing a check. So you may want to open a classic checking account at Home Federal. Balances down to $100? No penalty. Want to use our ATMs or write a check? No penalty. Hey, it's only fair. At Home Federal, you don't have to go far to get far.
Brent Severn talking with Brian McCabe. McCabe to your right, Severn to the left, and saying, well, listen, I can't do anything about it. The fans don't like me now because I knocked Newman off balance and he fell into the boards. That's just, as they say, the rub of the green, lad, the rub of the green.
Oh, you getting ready. Here's Newman firing one that pinballs wide. Getting ready for the 17th, are you? Here comes Clark. Held up by Finley. And now Shane Doan back on it in the Winnipeg zone. Schneider with a pinch that keeps the puck in the corner. Newman, re-winded, has it for the Jets. Penalty coming up to the Islanders here. Delayed penalty. Keith Tkachuk pokes the puck deep in the Islanders zone, and Fichot will play it to get the whistle. So Paul Stewart makes the high stick indication. That puck came around behind the Winnipeg net. That's where the infraction was. And it's going to cost 2 minutes as the Winnipeg Jets will go to the power play.
Yeah, he wants to get his attention. Rick Green, he got it. It's the way you present your case. I mean, Rick Bowness asking Paul Stewart, does he stay even-tempered? He can make his point. That's a pretty good presentation by the coach, associate coach of the Islanders, Rick Bowness. He's asking him, and Paul Stewart is replying.
So presentation counts, huh?
Well, at least you get his ear. You present your case, and you know what? At least it's food for thought, because if you do make a good point, I mean, if it's a judgment thing only, then it's a question of his judgment. Listen, it's his judgment. He calls them the way he sees them. But it was either a hooking or a high sticking, but either way, it doesn't matter. It goes high sticking to Travis Green. It was on Newman, and here it is. There's Green. There's Green. Oh, look at the stick. There it was. Yeah, it didn't make contact, and that's what he was saying. Just because he didn't make contact with him, you see the stick go right by the edge of his ear. And I think that's what he said, was that he had his stick up in the guy's face around his ear. He didn't make contact. You didn't have to cut him, but he had it there, and that's what I called it.
So Winnipeg going to the power play for the 6th time. Tkachuk, Stapleton, Turcotte the forwards. Tverdovsky and Newman will play the points. Derek Armstrong in on the draw. He and Sweeney are the forwards. Tverdovsky trying to control, does to Stapleton, but it's poked out of the zone. Kasparaitis and Schneider back, but Armstrong, who took the draw, heads right off to the bench as the Islanders get Nicholas Anderson out there. Tkachuk was knocked down in center. He's slow to get up. And here comes Newman in. Anderson hit Tkachuk. That's what sent Keith Tkachuk to his knees. And it's Sweeney playing it off the boards into the Winnipeg zone. Jet power play. Tverdovsky on the puck. Challenged and then shoved to the ice by Anderson. Tkachuk just said something to Anderson as he crossed his path. And now it's Stapleton to the red line. Puttering behind the Islander net. First on it. Turcotte on Severin. Stapleton to the puck. Now to Tkachuk in the corner. Tkachuk to Newmanen. Tverdovsky beats Newmanen. Now to Tkachuk along the board. Newmanen a one-time fake indecision, I guess, on Newmanen's part, who changed his mind. Past him come Christie, but now Tkachuk recovers. Tverdovsky a drive. Fichot found it through traffic and holds on. Severin and Turcotte are going at it. Ooh, Turcotte just got the blade of his stick right around Severin's face. Can't see from this angle if Severin had returned fire with the stick because he has his back to us and there are people in between, but it got a little nasty.
They had a pretty good battle going on all along while the puck was out near the point. Or Tkachuk had it halfway to the point. Severin and Turcotte were battling. Look in front of the net. There's Turcotte. He gave the little stick action. There's the deflection. Boom, get out of here. No rebounds. I don't want you getting a rebound. Turcotte fights back. Severin and he pawing away. Turcotte getting the stick up high.
And there's Darren Turcotte.
Anderson and Keith Tkachuk earlier on. Boom. Nicholas Anderson running in. Keith Tkachuk got up slow after that exchange.
Yeah, he crisscrossed with Anderson. His play moved back the other way, and he had a couple of words for him as well. But Keith Tkachuk all right. He's out there with Eastwood and Drake. Manson and Quint back for the Jets. They control the puck. 48 seconds left on Green's penalty. 5 minutes gone in the third. Islanders get the clear. Islanders up a goal at 3-2. Islanders struggled the last 6 games. Lost 5 of them, including a 7-5 decision to Winnipeg last week at the Coliseum. And Matthew Schneider plays it down the ice. Winnipeg have been just the opposite. 6 wins in their last 7. Although they've got a tough home and home coming up after today's game. They've got Detroit here tomorrow and then go to Detroit 2 days later. Here's Tkachuk with a shot off the Kasperitis' stick, and it becomes a souvenir.
Well, he can fly, Howie. He doesn't get the credit that he should for the ability of his skating. And he just turned it on. Looked as though he might have been at full steam, and then he just seemed to press it one more time, jumped into another gear. And then his wrist shot. Beauty. Deflected, went high, way up into the end seats. Take a look at Keith Tkachuk as they wind up coming out of their own end of the ice. There's the drop pass, and look at here as he accelerates and then just lets go. You can tell that he scored many a goal doing the same thing that he just did, using his speed, his flexibility, his balance, get that shot away. But the Islanders do a good job in getting enough of it, send it up into the seats. Get it out of here.
11 seconds still to go on the power play. Eastwood and Sweeney will draw inside the Islanders' zone. Darren Quinn at the line. Missed Karlev with that pass. Schneider gets there first. Out of Palpy's. He couldn't clear, though. Penalty about to expire. Here's Green out of the box. Eastwood on the puck, though, to Karlev. Palpy chasing him. Quick pass to Drake, and now Eastwood centers. Karlev can't squeeze a shot through Palpy's check. But Drake needs Quick for a drive. Michaud scrambling, and he's able to cover up.
Tremendous pressure by the Winnipeg Jets. They're trying to get this game tied up as quickly as they can. Not going to wait. They pour it on, but Eric Michaud again making a nice stop. Howie, he's gotten stronger. We talked about the fact he was a little shaky. Look at that screen shot. He made the save, look back. He doesn't see where the puck is. He just knows it's not in the net. He checked that. So now, spread out. Don't make any motions toward the net. Make every motion move towards the center ice dot. Don't knock it in your own net. Kasperitis in to try and help him out.
And there is Darren Quinn, who was the Jets' first pick 2 years ago, but not a first-round pick. They'd given that up, so it was the 30th pick overall on which Darren Quinn was selected by the Winnipeg Jets. Had some success playing in the World Junior Tournament for a couple of years. Impressed John Paddock, general manager of the Jets. Chris Luongo, number 6 for the Islanders, hit Turcotte with that pass. Now Wendell Clark doing some stick handling. And gets a dump in that is knocked down by the stick of Mike Stapleton. 13:48 to go. Third period. Islanders leading 3-2. One of the Islander goals came in the second period. Turcotte lays it off the glass to the far corner. The chance to Clark. Wendell didn't get the stick down. And it rolls into the Winnipeg zone. Islanders making a complete player change. Clark got a stick on that pass. And McCabe for the Islanders as the Jets answer the change. Gets to the red line. Blasts one off the glass behind the net. Dallas Drake to Mike Eastwood. And the Jets go to the attack. Eastwood crisscrosses with King. And shovels it behind the Islander net. McCabe first to get it. Now to Clark. Clark couldn't clear. Muni in front. Drake to Eastwood, but it slides through the crease. Flott hit by Karlev. Eastwood hit by Severin. Eastwood, number 32 for Winnipeg, keeping the puck. Spinning it to Drake behind the net. McCabe working him around. Eastwood helping for Winnipeg. Now to Karlev. 3 forwards behind the net. Karlev comes out. Curling in the corner. Forced back behind the net. Eastwood in front. Harleff taken down by McCabe, who gets the puck. Good play by Brian McCabe. Now to Armstrong, but it's an offsides pass across 2 lines. So we'll step out. 12:31 remaining, third period. Here's Brian McCabe on the Modell scoreboard.
What do you want? What do you need? What are you gonna do? What are you waiting for?
I think I was about 8 when I decided I was going to be a professional hockey player. I went out into the living room and I said, Dad, I want to be a professional hockey player. He put the paper down, he gave me one of his over-the-rim-of-the-reading glasses stares, and he said, Son, people who never hold a 9 to 5 usually end up skating through life. Boy, my old man had some great advice.
Just talking about the fact that Eric Pichot has settled in the second period, and here in the third, he's made some good moves. Not necessarily, Howie, the stops that he makes, but what he does after he makes them. He's made some good decisions, and he has been in trouble at times when he leaves the net and goes out and tries to handle the puck. Well, he hasn't been doing that quite as much.
So the face-off inside the Islanders zone. Kachuk and Green on the draw, and it's Schneider for the Islanders, lifting it into the crowd. So we get another stoppage. Remember, the Islanders going on a little hiatus after this game. They won't play again for a week. Next Saturday at 1:30, they'll drop the puck at the Igloo in Pittsburgh. Sports Authority Game Time gets you started at 1 o'clock. Islanders and Penguins next Saturday, and we'll have it for you on Sports Channel.
Islander blue. Now, he didn't do that himself. He had to have help.
Yeah, rotten bar of soap anyway. Here's Bob Sweeney. Still looking to break that goalless string that heads back to December the 16th. Off the face-off, Dave Manson back at the Winnipeg line. I said that was Bob Sweeney. Was that not Nicholas Anderson? Anderson, Seamont, Bertuzzi, the Islander forward line. Schneider and Kasparaitis on defense. This is Quint number 5 for Winnipeg. Missing Shane Doan with that pass, and here's Schneider scrambling back. Quint holds it in. Now for Kachuk. Seamont trying to gain the puck from him, but Quint's got it. Darren Quint hit up high by Kasparaitis. Kilger has the puck though. Manson reaching to hold it in, and he spins it back behind again. Schneider on Kachuk. Jumping in is Seamont to get the puck. Quint steps up, keeps it in, and it flutters back to Kachuk. Now for Kilger around the dome, and he missed the net up high. Manson back on the left point. Now Kasparaitis for the Islanders around the other way. Anderson can't clear the pinch by Quint. Kachuk knocked down. Schneider smacks it around the boards. Anderson leans into Quint. 7:14 to go in the third. 3-2 New York. Again, the Islanders can't clear. Darren Quint's drive blocked by Seamont. Now Seamont squirts past Quint over the line. He has help. Seamont fires. He scores! Alexander Seamont has given the Islanders a 4-2 lead.
You just had to have a feeling about it all. It was all the Winnipeg Jets. They were buzzing. But the Islanders, they were playing a good, cautious game in their own end of the ice. Nobody was making the big mistake. That wasn't allowing the Winnipeg Jets to get a scoring chance. First time they break it, Alexander Seamont comes down the ice. You see what happens. The Islanders now have a 2-goal lead. 11 minutes remaining in the third period as Seamont finds the hole through the 5-hole, and Seamont has broken out of the Islander end of the ice and did it all by himself, putting it away.
More relieved than jubilant. Relieved because he'd gone 8 games without a point. His last goal and point was back on February the 15th against Calgary, and the drought had put him in the Chateau Bow Wow as he'd been scratched a couple of times by Mike Milbury. But the goal by Seamont gives the Islanders little elbow room. It's 4-2 now with 10.5 to go in the third period. And again, the playoffs far from assured for this Winnipeg Jets club, so the Islanders trying to play up to the spoiler role. That's all that's left for them now. Abibulin lets that one go so that Muni can touch up for an icing call with 10:19 to go. Unassisted goal for Seamock is 19th at 8:59.
You have to like the patience that the Islanders showed in their own end of the ice, Howie. Almost a maturity because they were holding their ground, playing their positions well. Winnipeg had the puck. They were moving it around. They were in and they were out, but they never got the puck to the right position to be able to pull the trigger and get a good scoring chance in the last 30 seconds before Seamock, Alexander Seamock, broke out of there.
You know, I must be missing something. The guys say that Seamock's a real cut-up. You know, and I mean, I've been in his company a little bit. He's a pleasant enough guy, but I don't know if I'd put him in the Rodney Dangerfield class just yet.
I sometimes tease him about that because I say to Alexander Seamock at times when I see him, boy, you're really bursting over. You're bubbling again today. Like, and he kind of grins and takes it the way it's delivered. But no, I think it's just he has that European kind of stare, you know, where he just has kind of a blade. You don't know what he's thinking or whether he's thinking anything.
Well, the line that endeared him to his teammates from a comedic standpoint came, I think, when we were in Dallas. Somebody asked Seamock, or I don't remember if it was Seamock that they asked about or to directly, but they said, how's his English? Basically meaning Seamock, and he said, better than Bert's, meaning Todd Bertuzzi. Well, of course, the guy seated next to Seamock on his left and your right is Todd Bertuzzi, and he laughed about it. He understood it's all kind of locker room humor.
Oh, no, we've all seen him kind of giggle and laugh on occasion, but it's not quite as often. But then again, you know, some players are a lot more serious than others. And even when you think that they might let up, they don't.
Here's a steal by Stapleton, and Fischel robs Mike Stapleton, who is in alone. That came off a giveaway, and Fischel bailed out his teammates. Now Klott with a hard around that Armstrong chases. Dooling gets to and shoots, and Habibulin sticks that one aside. Armstrong hit by Manson. Turcotte chased by Dooling. But it's Manson bringing it up. A lead for Tkachuk, cut off by McCabe. Tkachuk had a step on the Islander D.
Well, we saw him do that in the second period, Harry, when he broke in all alone, and Fischel made his best save of the hockey game.
Armstrong chases Finley. Lott's got the puck, and he curls it deep once again. Now the Islanders change, and another effective shift for the young line of Armstrong, Dooling, and Klott.
Boy, they're reading the play well, Howie, and that's just not energy level. That's just being smart.
Eastwood hit by Kasparaitis. Korolev, number 23, on the puck for Winnipeg. He goes short side, and Fischel has to scramble to cover up. 8:57 remaining in the third period. The shots are even at 29, but the Islanders have a 2-goal lead as you look at the Model scoreboard.
Myrtle Beach, #1 for golf and family vacations. Call Myrtle Beach Jet Express at 1-800-FUN-TUCSON and fly nonstop jet service from New York to Myrtle Beach from only $79. Myrtle Beach, perfect for your family vacation and championship golf. Ask us about our Myrtle Beach vacation packages from only $199. And now try our great golf packages from only $17 per day. Only on Myrtle Beach Jet Express. Call 1-800-FUN-TUCSON today.
It's not a spectator sport. It's the interactive game that puts you in the action. Get ready to play Sports Buster.
Tuesday, only on Sports Channel.
Sunday on Sports Channel, the Devils shoot to gain ground in their playoff hunt against Lindros and the Flyers. On New Sport, Sean Bradley leads the Nets charge against Mutombo and the Nuggets. Follow New Jersey's teams Sunday on Sports Channel.
Take another look at the play that stopped so we could get out to commercial. Brent Severn tries to get it out. Stapleton grabbed the puck. There's his shot. Watch Turcotte on the side as the puck comes around. That play continued. Good stop by Fischel. As that play continued, Howie, I believe that Winnipeg hit the goalpost to the right.
Newman in a shot. Fischel stops it. Eastwood behind the net to Korolev. Under 9 minutes to go in the third. Newman in a shot through traffic. Fischel is able to grab it as there were skates all around them. And I don't know if Fichot was made contact with to the point of being stuck, but he appears to be all right now as the players peel off of each other.
Winnipeg has got the territory. They've got the advantage. They've got a few shots more than the Islanders in the hockey game, but Eric Fichot has been doing a good job keeping the puck out of the net. Not a lot of quality scoring chances for the Winnipeg Jets. I suppose that's another way. They have the shots, 32 of them so far in the hockey game. They've scored 2 goals, but 30 times Fichot has turned the puck away.
Scoreboard trying to get the fans pumped up. Right now it's the ally of the Islanders. 8:45 to go in the third period. New York leading 4-2. Travis Green out against Eastwood for the draw. Jets control. Newman slides it towards the slot. That hit escape. Travis Green knocks it out of the zone. Finley puts it right back in. Gasparaitis gave it away to Drake. Dallas Drake now over to Korolev in the corner. Drake behind the net. Dallas Drake to Newman. This has been the Jets' best cycling line so far tonight. They've done a good job controlling the puck down low. This is Eastwood, Korolev, and Drake.
It's nice to watch, Howie. Sometimes it's not effective if you don't get the puck into a position and get a play at the net. Look out here.
Here's a lead for Green. Palffy on the other side. The pass to Palffy, but he can't connect.
That was the first mistake that I could ever say that I've seen Zygmunt Palffy make offensively when he had a great scoring chance. Instead of just pumping the puck one-timing it, he tried to beat Howie Rose by pulling it to his backhand.
Now Korolev spins it behind the Islander net. LaChance for Luongo. Jets are changing. Luongo to Clark. The Islander line. Now it's Armstrong. Over to Plot down the right wing. Danny Plot's shot hits Tverdovsky's stick, lands in the corner. Plot to Dueling. His drive, stick save, Howie Bullen. Armstrong looking for Dueling. He talked about that between periods. He's got Plot in front too. Armstrong still with it. That's fine with the Islanders because time's a wasted and the Islanders are up a pair. Armstrong finally draws some attention and the Jets get the puck back. Tverdovsky to the red line. Leads Doan over the Islander line. Centers it behind the net. Tkachuk has it back. Now to Doan. Hit by Plot. Bouncing puck comes to Muni at the point. Now Tverdovsky. Penalty coming up to the Islanders. Kilger tries the wraparound. Fichot grabs it. We get the whistle. And there's a hold indicated by Paul Stewart. The Islanders will be down a man.
6:49 remaining in the third period. If the Winnipeg Jets needed something to get them into this hockey game, or I should say score-wise, they're into it obviously territorially, it was this. Put pressure on. See what happens, and the Islanders take a penalty down in front of the net. Jared Dueling gets a holding penalty there as he pulled the Winnipeg Jet player to the ice. See the arm of Paul Stewart? So a power play coming up for the Winnipeg Jets, a timely one. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the third period.
Shane Doan, the man that Jared Dueling was preoccupied with tonight. Remember, we'll have Mets preseason baseball against the Birds of Baltimore. Sports Authority game time 6:30. First pitch 7 o'clock. Show it to you again tomorrow at 10 in the morning. Green and Tkachuk lean in for the draw. Power play for Winnipeg. Newman into Turcotte. Aaron Turcotte has a little room. Wrists one off of Fichot. Gasparaitis slams it around. Newman can't hold it in. It came back inside, and if Tkachuk touches, it'll be an offside. That's fine with the Islanders that he didn't because the clock keeps running, and Schneider has an easy clear. Broke a stick with it, though. Sweeney leads Anderson.
Tkachuk is off with an injured left leg. He's heading for the dressing room of Winnipeg right now.
Teppo Newman has the puck in the Winnipeg zone. And that's a huge blow for the Winnipeg Jets, not only for this afternoon, but the rest of the way if it's anything serious, because again, as the puck deflects to the Islander bench, this Winnipeg team is far from locked up a playoff spot.
Far from locked up, and with some of the players that are out, Eddie Olchuk, one of the hot players, Jamnov, out for 2 or 3 weeks, both of those players, Howie. That's a big loss. That represents about 6 games minimum to Terry Simpson. Watch Schneider here. He gets tangled up. There. His left leg, as he bent back, that's his knee. I would guess he twisted. Look at him getting up and limping. He went off in pain, went directly to the dressing room. So that's a big loss for the Winnipeg Jets as Keith Tkachuk gets bent over backwards.
Terry Simpson's going to have to do the same to come up with a combination that's going to produce some offense in the immediate future for the Winnipeg Jets. But with the losses that Eddie just outlined. 6 minutes to go in the third, minute 10 on the Winnipeg power play. The Islanders lead 4-2. Mike Eastwood, number 32, to Dallas Drake behind the net. Severin steps in to get the puck, but he lost it. And then Severin is able to put it back into the corner. Eastwood from Manson at the point. Now to Eastwood again. Behind the net, this is Korolev. Turning it back around. Eastwood to Manson. That shot hits Palffy. Eastwood again. Missed Drake. Korolev follows. Now to Eastwood. Manson a drive. That hit Palffy. Eastwood to Korolev. And Eastwood again in the corner. Now Korolev behind the net. Feeds as Quint jumped in from the right point position. He pushed him wide. Paul Stewart just had to duck out of the way of the puck. Now it's Korolev in the corner. 19 seconds left in the power play. The pass misses. Comes all the way down.
Boy, Korolev with a bad pass back to the point position.
The lead for Drake, but he's hit hard by Kasparaitis. Darius leaned into him and backhands it down the ice. Notice how aggressive Zygmunt Palffy is in pressuring the point on the power play.
Well, he's that quick. He can get to a lot of places, Howie, and he's so quick with his hockey stick. When he's checking, he could pick it off your stick and be gone if you're not careful.
Well, there's Tkachuk. He's okay. He's back on the ice for Winnipeg, but they can't get the puck into the Islanders' zone. That's real good news for the Winnipeg Jets. The penalty is over. 4.5 to go in the third. Islanders up 4-2. Turcotte with a steal on Clark, and now Turcotte turns on the Jets. Over the line, he centers Tkachuk, but he missed it, and then ran into Fichot. As again, Tkachuk had that leg hooked up with a goaltender. Stapleton got a piece of that as it carries all the way through, and Fichot's got to cover up, so we'll step out with 4:11 to go in the third period. Tkachuk's okay, but the Jets aren't on the Modell's board.
Don't you just love hockey? What's not to love? You get the wicked slap shots, the bone-jarring hits, the phenomenal saves. And don't forget the ice. Bud Ice and 96-calorie Bud Ice Light, the official beer sponsors of the NHL. So grab a bottle of Bud Ice, or if you prefer, try it from a cup.
The forecast, cloudy skies with flurries today, total accumulations.
No, you can't control the weather. But a Jimmy can. Seek a safe haven. Seek a Jimmy. Now, second-time Jimmy lease buyers can enjoy the comfort of numbers like these. See your Tri-State GMC dealer today.
I love it when I'm wrong when it comes to a player and maybe an injury, and there's no injury. There's the pass to Keith Tkachuk. His left leg dangling out there. I saw him crossing over left to right, right to left in the center ice area, Howie. And the guy that leads the National Hockey League in shooting percentage, 22.6%, Keith Tkachuk, is back out there. So maybe it was just a blow to the knee, not a twisting motion that sent him off the ice.
Stapleton, Tkachuk, Turcotte up front. Newman and Finley back for Winnipeg. Turcotte controls, shoots one, a sliding puck to Fichot. Covers up with 4:07 to go.
That's the kind of a play that you just want to get it through to the net or have somebody deflect it, have it be a loose puck that they can jam in. It wasn't a hard shot. It was more of a pass from the point. Fichot was able to stop it and hang on.
The Islanders have Armstrong, Clark, and Green out right now. I guess Palffy will come out, and Armstrong's there for the draw. Let's see if Derek Armstrong heads off if the Islanders gain control of the puck and clear the zone. Travis Green's gotten so many of the important face-offs this year, but there they use Armstrong, and he does. He heads right back to the bench to get Palpy on.
You do that, Howie, because there's times when a guy just beats you. You know, he beats you all night long, and you're smart to report it. Don't try and beat him in an important face-off when you haven't been able to beat him all night long.
Here's Turcotte tied up with Green. Finley in the Winnipeg zone on the puck. And Jeff Finley put ahead. McCabe for the Islanders dumps it right back in, and that's what the Islanders want right now. Just keep the puck in the Winnipeg end of the ice with 3.5 to go, and the Islanders leading 4-2. Islanders in search of their 20th win of the year and only their 7th on the road. Here's Tkachuk powering towards the net. He gets in for a backhander that's ticked wide and worked around by Green. Newman into Turcotte. Aaron Turcotte finds Tkachuk behind the net. Now Tkachuk looking for room. Gets a little, but can't get the shot through. Backed up by Quinn, who misses the net. Bounces right on the Clark stick. Stapleton was taken down. That's why the fans are groaning. Now Wendell Clark strolls to center. Clark over the Winnipeg line. Puts a move on Newman, and he's in, but he missed the net on the left side of Happy Bullen. Quick move by Wendell Clark on a quality defender, and Teppo Newman. 2:42 to go in the third. Karlev knocked that one down. A high stick indicated by Paul Stewart. And that's just the puck being knocked down with a stick over the shoulders and then retouched by the same team.
Great effort by Wendell Clark. 2 good moves. He got in all alone, and then his shot, he tried to lift it high over the catching glove of Happy Bullen. Take a look. Teppo Newman, number 27 in white, went inside, and then outside went Clark. There's his flip shot. Happy Bullen got a little bit of that puck, I believe, Howie, and deflected it wide.
Well, you got to give Wendell Clark a lot of credit, because as the trade rumors continue to surface, and you know, some of them probably have no substance or foundation whatsoever, he's done and said all the right things, as opposed to voicing an opinion about wanting to get out of here. Islanders still feel that he can have a lot of value for them in the ensuing years as a leader and somebody from which they could still build around. Here's a centering feed to Eastwood, but he missed. And Seamock on the puck.
That's always been a drawback for being a left or a right-handed shot on the left side.
Manson fans. Bertuzzi looks to locate. And Seamock finds Anderson at the red line, and he just bounces it in. So we're under 2 minutes to go in the third. Let's see whether or not Terry Simpson decides to pull Happy Bullen and get an extra skater out, even though his team is 2 goals behind. Schneider puts it deep. Objective A for the Islanders. And 100 ticks of the clock for all that remain in this one. Here's Plott with a sharp angle shot off of Happy Bullen. Turcotte for Winnipeg. Speeds out of his own zone. Turcotte over the red line. Turcotte in over the Islander line. He backhands one, and Fichot stops him. Kasparaitis got the hip out to finish the hit on Turcotte after he'd gone rink wide, or at least end to end. Newman in to Stapleton. Now to Tkachuk. But the pass doesn't reach Newman, and as Happy Bullen heads to the bench. Winnipeg net is empty. 1:11 to go in the third. The Islanders with a 2-goal lead at 4-2. Here's Stapleton sending Drake in. He queued it up with his skate. Gets it to the corner. And we're into the final minute of the third period. Remember, the Winnipeg net is empty. And here's McCabe for Armstrong. Armstrong shoots on the open net and misses. Dooling looking for his first NHL goal. Held off by Tverdovsky. Wonder if Armstrong didn't carry him that in such a fashion that it would come to dueling. Derek told us between periods he was going to look to set up dueling for his first. 34 seconds to go in the third period. Dallas Drake. Boston. Kasparaitis flings it hard around and down the ice. So the Islanders 25 seconds away from a win. Clark misses the empty net. And back the other way comes Tkachuk for Winnipeg. Sends Eastwood over the Islander line. Eastwood a shot steered aside by Fichot. 14 seconds to go. Palpy lifts one down to the Winnipeg line. Manson's got it. 8 seconds remain. The Islanders are going to win in their swan song in Winnipeg. Eric Fichot hands off to Schneider, and now it's official. Hockey in Winnipeg for the New York Islanders is over.
Wow, what a win for the Islanders. What a disaster for the Winnipeg Jets fighting for playoff position. Terry Simpson, who watched his team beat the Florida Panthers here after trailing twice the other night. They came back and beat Florida 5-3 to lose to a very high-tempo Islander team in this hockey game.
Well, Mike Milbury has mentioned that realistically, although not mathematically yet, but listen, let's use common sense here, all that's left for the Islanders is to play the role of spoilers. Well, in the last 3 games, they've knocked off the Bruins. They have taken the Bruins to the final minute and have knocked off the Winnipeg Jets. Jared Dooling very effective in helping the Islanders beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-2. We'll be back right after this.
If 90 courses, 60 miles of beaches, thousands of accommodations, and the Energizer Senior Tour Championship sound great, here's the only MasterCard that offers you chances to win free golf vacations, Senior PGA Tour Pro-Am spots, and much more. All from America's favorite golf resort, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's the Myrtle Beach MasterCard. There's no annual fee and no better way to enjoy world-class golf.
Call 1-800-358-9088 and apply today.
Seems like whatever you do, you're charged for how much you use things. How long? How often? That's why 9X invented unlimited calling. No more watching the clock or waiting to call. With 9X, make any local or regional call without restrictions, unlike other calling plans. So make 1 million calls and never worry about the charges, because they're the same every month. Want to stop the meter? Call 9X.
Mike Tyson fought Frank Bruno once before. This is what happened.
Tyson gets nailed with a left hook. Tyson looks wobbly as he attacks Bruno. That's the first time I've seen anything like Tyson staggered. Mike Tyson doesn't seem to have that fiery look inside.
Bruno versus Tyson, WBC Heavyweight Championship, March 16th. Live on pay-per-view from the MGM Grand. Call your cable or satellite company.
Share the excitement of Islanders hockey and score big savings. If you have a group of 25 or more, call 1-800-882-ISLES to reserve your seats now. Well, the Islanders have put a little crimp in the Winnipeg Jets' playoff chances. Islanders winning 4-2 this afternoon here in Winnipeg. Brian McCabe had the go-ahead goal for the Islanders, and he joins us from our studios downstairs. And, Brian, it's interesting that Jared Dooling and Derek Armstrong have come along, and a couple more of the kids seem to have pumped some life into the rest of this team. Have you fed off of that, too?
Well, for sure. It's great when guys get called up. You know, it's their first opportunity to play in the NHL. And Jared and Army have came in, and, you know, they worked hard, and they've been our best line the past couple games, and Dan Plant's on there. They've been creating some opportunities, and it's just good to have hard work like that.
Brian, my observation would be that you played a 60-minute hockey game, you and your hockey club. Pretty high-tempo game for a road team. Generally, road teams play a little more conservatively.
Yeah, well, we're a desperate hockey team right now. You know, we haven't won, and we've been struggling of late, and we came in here and wanted to play a full 60 minutes. We haven't done that in a while. We always seem to let up in the third period, but we went out there today and contributed 60 full minutes, and it got us a win.
All right, we remember the reaction after your first goal in Philadelphia. You just about hit the roof of the Spectrum. You're a little more low-key now. Is that just from becoming a goal scorer?
Yeah, the first one was very exciting. You know, it's good to score every time, but, you know, tonight I just went out and shot the puck on net. We had a good screen in front. I was happy, but not as ecstatic.
You know, leading up to that goal, Brian, probably most people watching don't appreciate the footwork that you use to move from the left point position all the way over to the right side, pull the puck in, and let it go.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, we work on it after practice. You know, me and Brent Sever, my D partner, try to do that after practice sometimes, and, you know, it pays off. I guess I got the puck and slid to the middle, and we just tried to throw the puck on net, and I had a good screen by Jared in front, and just having to hit the net and having to go in.
Take me through the footwork. Is that something that you have worked on since you were a junior hockey player and on up into the pros now, or is that something you just don't think about and do anyway?
No, I got to work on it a lot. You know, I'm not the quickest skater or the smoothest, so I try to work on my skating ability a lot. And, you know, I used to be a forward, so I didn't know how to pivot too well, so I'd say that's probably the biggest thing I have to work on in practice is my foot speed and pivoting and stuff like that, and it helps out a lot in the game.
Brian, congratulations on what turned out to be the game-winning goal. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Brian McCabe of the New York Islanders. All right, so his feet didn't leave the ice this time, but it doesn't mean he wasn't excited. He helped the Islanders beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-2. We'll be back.
Watching vibrates if you don't know about